Welcome to the Krueg Show, everybody. I'm Larry Krueger. He's Ryan Smith. He's Dan Coach Emilio wearing the Giants hat. Really like that Giants hat. I kind of like, I don't know, baseball uniforms. Didn't get a chance to see any tonight. All right, we'll get into that. Let the bitching commence. No, but we might be a tad on the grouchy side. No, we're on the grouchy side. Hope everybody's having a phenomenal Tuesday night. Happy All-Star Game day of the summer. I love this game as a kid. Used to look forward to watching this game. This was like the one game in the summertime. It's like, oh man, I can't wait for the All-Star Game. Can't wait for the introductions. Loved it as a kid. Loved it. And tonight I watched it, and I'll say this. Okay, first of all, a couple things come to mind. One, the American League won again. And I believe I read that the National League has only won like 6 or 7 times since 1988. 1988 was the year I graduated high school. So it has been the American League dominating for a while. It's like 6 wins for the NL since 1988 and like none since 2014. Is the American League the dominant league? And I think we need to get into that. Now, is the All-Star Game the best way to determine that? Is it about the health of the clubs during the season? If you looked at the World Series record, maybe that would tell you a different story. If you looked at interleague head-to-head, even though it all seems like one league right now, but there is 2 different leagues. I don't know who's got the lead as far as NL, AL on the ledger since they started playing interleague games. I don't know who's leading that.
To me, the All-Star Game, I don't even get into that anymore. To me, the All-Star Game was more meaningful without interleague play.
Totally. But what I was going to say before we break into this thing is, one, is the American League the better league? I'd love people to chime in with who they think is the biggest star of the stars. The Stanton, Giancarlo Stanton won the MVP tonight, but who would you say is the biggest star in baseball? Biggest star in baseball. Is the American League the better league? We got 3 questions for you. Those are 2. The third one, I hated these uniforms. They were drab as hell. You could barely tell who was playing for who. The whole fun of the All-Star Game was to see the uniforms and all the different uniforms on the field at the same time, and the uniform is how you can tell who's who. And now, and that's when you actually knew who was who. Now you've got a much more nameless, faceless group of all-stars, and they're deciding to not be able to identify them.
Baseball's just a bunch of dopes running the league.
They're stupid at this point.
Who's the head of marketing or PR that – hey, how can I screw baseball up even more? Let's see. We finally have all eyes on us after everything else is – taking a bow right now. Basketball's pretty much, summer league's over. NFL doesn't start for another week or 2. We got the full national stage. Let's come out with Army versus Navy. What the heck?
It was the road grays against the whites, but I realize every team's it was good for the people who were totally honed in watching on television. But I can imagine that if you were in the upper deck, you're like, who's who? I can't tell. I really can't tell. It's fine for the TV audience, but what about the people in the stadium? I personally thought that the uniforms, all the different uniforms provided all the color on the field. Yeah. It made it special. It made it fun. It made it unique. Instead, now we take all their hats, all the color, all the different uniforms, take that away, and just put everybody in a super drab looking color It was weird. I'm like, why are you doing this? And then they hit it. There's a ground ball in the infield. The guys turned to double play. You couldn't really tell who was who because you got to look at your scorecard because they're all wearing basically one uniform. It's the whole thing. It's like they really, between the uniforms and home run derby, which they totally have screwed up. I mean, I hate to say
somebody in the front office of baseball has an inside deal with Nike because Nike makes all of the uniforms for everything, whether it be Mother's Day, they wear
make them and sell them, but don't wear them. Don't wear them in the game. I mean, if you want to have a uniform look, like a uniform thing for the workout, have workout gear that's all uniform. That's totally fine. It's the workout, but don't have uniform gear for the game. I mean, it's so bad. The beauty of the game is seeing all the uniforms. I thought.
I can guarantee you this, Larry.
That just robbed it for me.
I'll bet you the person making the final decision of that never had anything to do with baseball as a kid. Probably couldn't even, didn't get picked when they picked the players. He's one of the Geek Squad guys.
Yeah, some bean counter idiot in the corner office is like, yeah, we'll market these, we'll sell. That's fine. If you want to put them together, an all-star uniform that you sell and take pictures in those uniforms, fine. Like some one uniform, I get it. But for the game itself, wear your uniform so people can identify who you are. Because
see the Red Sox, the pinstripes, the Yankees, the Giants.
Yeah, we want to see the uniform. So that. Yeah. And then as far as home run derby, it wasn't necessarily baseball screwing it up, but did you guys read how, they actually screwed up the counting of the home runs in the home run derby. And this is a sport. This is a thing you can actually wager on. So you kind of, I don't know, you got to get the numbers right
on TV. Because
you guys didn't see that? I don't know if you guys.
No. What if outcome did it affect?
So this is what happened last night. Basically, first of all, they did that terrible split screen of the home run derby.
So you got this close up. They screwed the whole week up.
Yeah, you got this close up, but you really couldn't see like the home run balls. Then you had all these kids running around the outfield. But ESPN, basically the MLB officials, they scored the contest incorrectly in the home run derby. And they basically, when Albert Pujols was battling Kyle Schwarber, they were battling against each other in that bracketed format. Pujols was awarded 20 home runs to 19 home runs, that one home run victory over Schwarber. But it was quickly revealed that a Schwarber home run that would have been number 18 was not counted. So the score should have been tied, sending Pujols and Schwarber to a sudden death overtime. But that wasn't the case. Pujols advanced, allowing plenty of sports books to cash in. Schwarber was one of the betting favorites to win the event.
He was number one guy.
So he gets eliminated in the first round. Could you imagine if you bet Schwarber and you're actually counting those home runs?
Oh my God.
Then another situation happened in the Juan Soto.
Honestly, do you think I feel like the camera angles had to affect some of that because they were confusing the hell out of us. I'm sure they confused the hell out of the bean counters. And I will say one thing quickly before we get off the uniforms. The one good thing that these uniforms provided is that I don't know if you noticed the caps on the guys, but for some of the teams, it's like there's like a little star, right? And so like for the Giants, they smartly had their star on the bottom. Or here, I'm gonna have to show you a visual. So some teams opted to have it on like the bottom right, but a lot of them had it on the top right or the top left. And what it does is it made it so that now there's like Dodgers asterisk hats out there. So that's one good thing. If we ever are forced to like be in a bet where we have to wear a Dodgers hat, we can just be like, oh, no, that's for the asterisks. Same thing with the Astros. Look at this guy. Oh, this one's almost gone. I mean, that is literally the Houston Asterisks right there. There you go.
Yeah, that's great.
That is hilarious. But then the other one was when Julio Rodriguez was taking on Soto. the rules stated that the pitchers had to wait to throw until the previous home run had landed. But they ignored that multiple times during Soto's home run derby final at bats. Soto continued to plow through. He racked up 19 dingers because he was up against the clock. Many of his home runs took place after the home plate umpire could be seen holding his hand up, urging the pitcher to stop.
Yeah,
while Rodriguez finished with one less home run. So Rodriguez would have won that thing if they had basically policed this thing correctly. Rodriguez would have beaten Soto.
Well, Rodriguez hit. I mean, it didn't really make sense to me because Rodriguez, even though he wasn't as prolific as he was in the first 2 rounds, it seemed like he was hitting home runs on like 75% of the pitches. And then Soto went like 0 for 10 to start it. If you guys remember,
the guy was pitching him away,
and then he called the timeout, and I did see him being like, telling the guy like pick it up, but like it does seem like there was something fishy because I was like, how the hell could he catch up this quickly?
Yeah, the whole thing, I tell you, to me the whole thing was a disaster. It was a joke. The game was boring as heck. I mean, how in the National League got all the 5 runs were scored in 2 half innings.
Yep.
It was it. So the other
this is baseball. I mean, I'm glad it was that way because this is what baseball is right now. This is what baseball is. Yeah. It's not rallying. It's very little action and little spurts of runs scored.
5 runs scored in the game, and 4 of them were on home runs.
Yeah, that's baseball.
Runs.
By the way, now that since we're just ripping on baseball, did you guys see the 9/11 thing that went viral? The Fox, so whoever you saw
they basically had the Red Sox and the Yankees where the Twin Towers used to be, kind of suggesting that the Red Sox and the Yankees are kind of like the Twin Towers of the game. But a lot of people are like, man, that's way too soon.
Such poor taste. Like, what the hell are we thinking? There's so many different things you can do.
It's not a natural fit anyway. Are they really the 2 towers of the game? Do they really tower over everybody else? No. It's such it's a bad Northeast centric type take that shows incredible Northeast insensitivity. It's bizarre.
Hey, we've got where was that? I saw the breaking news. There it is, 8:55 p.m. Nick J. Breaking news. The A's are sending Blackburn a Greyhound ticket to come home.
Yeah.
I love it.
How embarrassing was that for the A's? Their guy was going to fly like Delta 398. Instead, the Astros are like, hey, man, why don't you join us on our private plane? I mean, the A's are just such a bad look, man. They really are.
They should be relegated.
They should be.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. Send them to like the American Association
and promote the best minor league, the best AAA team.
The good news and bad news, A's fans. The good news is you're going to Vegas. The bad news is you're going to AAA.
Yeah, you're now the Astros farm system.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry, I'll fly you private,
legitimately, instead of just a name only.
Yeah. I don't know. I tell you, I wouldn't have probably, if we weren't coming on tonight, I probably wouldn't even watch this game because it was so boring. I mean, I would have just.
At least there was no shifts, as Mark Graves said. No, at least I noticed no shifts tonight. Yeah, don't need analytics.
Yeah,
so kind of good that Gonsolin. I mean, because there wasn't really a most valuable player this year. Like you could pick any of the guys that hit home runs.
Gonsolin pulled an Atlee Hammaker.
Yeah, but there was one clear least valuable player, and it was Gonsolin.
Yeah, my buddy down here in Arizona, he's a huge Dodger fan, and he texted me, and because I said something about Gonsolin, I was giving him a hard time, and he says Gonsolin will shut down the Giants with their less than stellar 220 team batting average with all those players on the wrong side of 30 when he pitches against them this season. I'm not concerned by an exhibition game. I guess I remember that you were the guy that was jacked up because Joey Bart was raking spring training pitching, but then once the exhibition games ended and the real game started, he couldn't hit the water with an oar. And
could we get the spark notes?
So I told him, this is my comeback to him. because I was tired of his stuff.
Great freaking name.
I said, Bart will be fine and is showing signs of turning it around. I said, you sound very frustrated by the fact that you've had to wait over 33 years to see a Dodger parade in L.A. It must be hard, but I'll start praying for you beginning tonight for some relief. We'll hope you have some patience and peace because you most likely will never see one unless the Angels decide to have one in L.A. instead of Orange County. So
people don't like it typically when you say "I'll pray for you." You know that always agitates them.
I tease him.
I'll pray for you.
Yeah, just giving him a hard time.
I don't even believe in anything. Don't pray
for
me.
Really, seriously, the Dodgers. I give them a hard time because I know they won in 2020, but I always tell them.
You're also the same guy who said that the Dodgers have owned the Giants.
I said they own them now. Currently, they own them going forward. With
how
the way
dare you say that? How dare you say that?
I want to see that change. I guess what I'm frustrated is I want to see the Giants farm system get so stocked up that they can make trades for Soto and it doesn't even phase them. The
latest on that, by the way, I was just talking to Soto. No, the latest on that is that the Yankees and the Cardinals, according to what I'm reading, have made offers for Soto. Texas, they're also saying, is in the bidding. Yesterday, they speculated maybe the Padres would be the big player. But today, Yanks and Cardinals have already made strong offers, and Texas is on the verge of a strong offer. Doesn't mean that the deal is going to get done. But I have read a couple spots in a couple areas that people close to this situation believe that Soto is going to be dealt by the deadline. That right there is dramatic. I mean, we're talking about one of the best players in the game. He's 23.
Wait, he's going to be traded? Romo just broke some crazy news.
Giants
We'll see. Yep. We'll see on the Giant front.
I don't know. I mean, they have the ability to do it if they wanted to. But I was thinking about this tonight while I was, I had all night to have a clear mind watching that boring game. I was thinking, would it be better for the Giants to hang on to their prospects and instead of going and getting Soto and trading, all these guys we hope to see, is just break the bank wide open for Aaron Judge next year? And give him.
So wait a second. Let me get this straight. So your game plan is to outbid the Yankees.
Oh, they could do
for
that.
A player coming off of his career year, who's the most popular player in their organization.
But did you hear him tonight? He was interviewed live.
No,
it's
on
Twitter.
He's coming to the Giants.
No, they said a fan, this interviewer on Twitter, I don't know who it was, this lady down there, part of the broadcast, said, hey, this young fellow said, tell me Aaron Judge isn't leaving the Yankees. And they asked Aaron.
He said, tell Dan Coach Emilio I'll meet him at the airport. I'm going to the Giants.
He goes, well, there's a lot of good Yankees that will be here. And he basically he didn't know what to say. And he was kind of like, he didn't say, don't worry, I'll be back. It sounded almost like when you listen to it, like he's planning on leaving.
Don't worry, be happy.
I mean,
did he say anything about Bobby McFerrin? Did he mention the name Bobby McFerrin? So that was a long-winded way of saying absolutely nothing.
Well, he basically
so what are you saying, Dan? What did he say?
He didn't. He basically was pretty like
smart about it.
Non-committal,
but almost like kind of like I don't think. Not even like we're going to try and work it out.
That's what he's got to do. I
mean, to get the
what's
contract.
He going to say? I'll be back. All right.
But
I'm coming back.
But my point, serious point is, would you guys?
No, I'd
love to get Soto, but if you don't get him,
Judge makes Soto, more. Judge is 30.
I'd rather Luis Castillo.
He's had injuries too.
Hey, that's another thing. I was looking at this game tonight thinking, who could the Giants, instead of going out and trading 4 of your top prospects plus a couple of other players, because there was a report that's what according to John Heyman, that the Nats are going to be looking for the top 4 prospects plus some players
So
on
who would
the
that
roster.
be for the Giants? That would be Marco Luciano, Kyle Harrison, Luis Matos,
and
Bednar.
So
would you trade those four guys and Logan Webb?
Not Webb.
Well, that's what they're going to want, right?
Yeah, and I think you really hurt yourself if you trade Harrison, Bednar, and Webb. That's your three guys that you can build a rotation around because you have no assurance that Rodon will stick around. So, I mean,
if we're just talking adding wins to this team, I don't think, at least on for next year, I think that having Logan Webb, not even including all the other stuff, Logan Webb and having Soto be an everyday guy, I think those are pretty comparable in terms of wins added.
I would say this on that front. I mean, if they could move their top four guys and not, they just their top four guys and then maybe a couple of other guys that weren't top four, I'd still do it. Do it just because you don't know about Luciano. You don't know about Matos.
No, you don't. And I would
Harrison's really close. Harrison's pretty obvious that he would be he's a major league starting pitcher. Now, but is he a major league starting pitcher who's a superstar? I don't know. I would have concerns about durability with him, but I absolutely would. I think I've seen enough Giant prospects fail, or if not purely fail, just wind up being a whole lot less than what we initially thought, that I would make the move. I really would.
MF.
MF donates $1.99. Heard that Farhan won't deal Vaughn Brown. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for the $1.99.
Gracious.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, here's the thing. They're talking four top prospects, probably some players. It sounds like they want, and the Corbin taking on Corbin's contract. So the Giants have the ability to do it. But I guess what I'm saying is, if the Giants prospects aren't enough. And
Sexy Burrito says, who's Vaughn Brown? Vaughn Brown's an outfield prospect in A-ball for the Giants who's having a nice year.
Yeah. So I'm kind of
I'm just responding to Sexy Burrito. Sorry.
If you've got to go four guys, your four top prospects for Soto and some players, why not get creative and say, how about if we give our maybe top prospect and a lower prospect, and we take on a bad contract, and we go get someone like Ramirez from the Indians, who's a great
personally hitter. I think the guy that I would go get, if you're just looking to look for somebody who's up now for, who's a young player who, and you're willing to trade prospects to get him, I'd go after that Andrew Vaughn, who's with the White Sox, who's a Bay Area kid who went to Cal. He's just a very pure hitter. He's going to be a great hitter for a long time. The deal that I also like is, may guarantee that you don't get Soto, but I think it might be a deal that would be smart to consider. And that is, I don't think the Padres can get Soto unless they move some of their bad contracts. But if I'm the Giants, I think I would be willing to take the Padres' bad contracts, which is a couple of years of Hosmer and one more the rest of this year for Will Myers. And for doing that, take one of their top prospects. They've got two guys who are on the verge. They got a guy named Robert Hassel III. They call him Bobby Barrels. Have you seen Bobby Barrels?
I haven't seen
Robert
him.
Hassel
I've read
III.
a lot about
He was
him.
in the Futures game. He looks kind of like a Sean Green or a Kyle Tucker. He's got a pure swing. He's a tall left-handed hitter, very slender corner outfielder, but he's a pure hitter. I mean, the guy's going to hit 300 for sure. I'd take a guy like that I'd take a guy like that off their hands to take their bad money. See, I think the Giants' best move might be since they don't want to empty their farm system, it might be to use their financial might and take a couple bad contracts. And in this situation, Hosmer is not a power hitter, but he's going to hit you 270. And I think he might be okay for a couple of years at first base in the ballpark. And you got Will Myers, who hits well in your park. He's only under contract for the rest of this year at $7.5 million. So you could theoretically, you take a couple bad years of Hosmer and you get Will Myers and you wind up with a Robert Hassel, or you take that catcher that they have, who's a real good catcher, ready to go behind the plate. So, I mean, the Padres to me might be a good fit, and then theoretically you'd be allowing them to free up the money that they need to go after Soto. But if you're not going to get Soto and you're not going to play in those waters, I absolutely would take a top prospect off the Padres' hands to pay some of their money. Why not? You have the money and you don't have the prospect. So pay the money, and you did it on a kind of a lesser degree for Will Wilson. I don't know if that worked out, but would you do that? Would you take on Hosmer and Will Myers to get one of their top two prospects, either a real good catcher or a real good corner outfielder? Because I think I would.
It's not my money, so hell yeah.
I mean, if I could get one of their top prospects, absolutely. See, there's some talk that the Padres have the prospects to send Washington to give even more prospects than their top four, giving 6 or 7 top prospects to take on Hosmer and Myers off their hands but
see, that doesn't make sense because the Nationals don't have the money. The Giants do have the money. The Giants are rich. Part of the reason the Nationals would be even trading Soto is that they can't extend him. So our last thing they want, they're not ready to win. And if they want young guys, they want to turn their thing over. They're not taking on cash. I would be shocked if that happened. MF donates $9.99. He says, I like Larry's idea of trading for Jake McCarthy and Pavin Smith. That could really put the franchise on a solid trajectory. Well, MF, I appreciate the support. All I'll say is Pavin Smith, since I said that, has had a serious injury, right? So isn't Pavin Smith out for several months?
I'm not sure, but
he broke a bone. McCarthy's got a lot of speed, though, for sure. But we appreciate the donation of $9.99 for sure. It's funny. Somebody said, Sexy Brutus says, Larry, get Ned Colletti on the phone. Ned's in London. So we were going to have him on tonight, and we just decided that since he's in London, we can't make that work. So we'll have to wait until he comes back from London. But overall, I would say I love the All-Star game. Some of baseball's greatest memories and moments have come in the All-Star game. But at this point, I really think tonight was screwed up royally. I mean, seriously, that was a drab. The uniforms were like the game, drab and forgettable.
Yep.
You couldn't really identify anybody. They were super drab. They're very, very forgettable in the game. 2 half innings of offense. The rest of it was very drab and forgettable. Yeah. And baseball is now, I love it. And it's a big part of my life. It's a big part of growing up and stuff. And I enjoy it. But it is becoming so easy to envision as just being irrelevant. It's NBA Summer League has more relevance than this.
Actually, it does.
NFL training camp has more relevance than this. It's amazing how they took a sport that had a huge audience, and it's because it's run by people who are bean counters. They're so reactionary, and they don't understand, what people like and don't like about their game, why people are playing or not playing, why people are watching or not watching. And it's just like the MLB network seems lost. The MLB leadership seems lost. MLB teams individually seem totally disconnected. And it's amazing that you think of it. I mean, the NBA Summer League is hot. People go to Vegas. The NBA players go to Vegas to watch the Summer League games. It's like a NBA post-finals convention. And that's now gotten to a point where it's significantly more watchable, and people seem like they enjoy it more than Major League Baseball's, what they used to call the Midsummer Classic. This is supposed to be like the World Series of the summer. And it's totally forgettable sewage. And the home run derby, they can't film it. They can't count. And by the way, why would you have a format where 2 guys could hit 100 home runs in the first round and one of them's out?
Yeah.
That's the format they created. You could have had Rodriguez from Seattle and the polar bear locked up in a first round matchup, and they could have each hit 65 home runs, and it could have been the most electric thing anybody's ever seen. And yet, whoever hit one fewer would be out.
It's so stupid. They should do it like the NBA 3-point contest. The first round, the top guys advance.
Except don't have NBA veterans, alums scoring it, because those guys, they're terrible at that too. But I mean, still, do something like that so you make sure that your best home run hitters all move on to the finals.
Yep.
Right? I mean, their format was dumb. The whole thing was just baseball's losing their way.
One of the things I don't know if they used to do this, the NBA, but I'd kind of like to see them go back to where one team wears their home whites and the other team wears their home blacks.
Yeah.
Who cares what if they don't match? I mean, black and
white.
Problem
is that's not selling another uniform.
Well, here's an idea. If you want to sell another uniform, have an all-star uniform that is in the color scheme of the uniform that you're copying. So, have an all-star A's uniform and an all-star Dodger uniform, and then you can sell that special uniform, but at least it's in the color scheme. And so you can identify from 20 feet away from the TV. Oh, I'm an A's fan. I'm waiting for somebody from the A's. You wouldn't even know if they were in the game right now.
Yeah, I had to look. Only way I knew that guy that pitched tonight from the A's was because of the article that I read about the bus, the plane ticket. Oh, that's the guy. Because I couldn't see it right away on his uniform. I was, it's like, geez.
The biggest problem I think baseball has is just the fact it's just the whole. First of all, nobody cares about college baseball, and then nobody cares about these prospects until they're up. And it's just like the draft is an entire industry for the NBA. It's getting people to watch summer league. The same thing for the NFL. It's even way bigger, and everybody's just so excited to see these young kids. And I mean, hell, I think most people out there that are casual sports fans know Matt Holliday. They know Andrew Jones. Those guys were great players. Their kids just went 1 and 2 in the MLB draft. How many people even know that? Nobody cares. It's the draft it comes and goes, and who cares? Nobody knows. And yeah,
it's amazing too. It's funny. Somebody said, baseball is the only draft where you'll hear somebody talking about, some player, and the guy will be like, he's got the speed of Ricky Henderson. He's got the power of Babe Ruth. He's got the batting eye of Wade Boggs. And then you never hear from him again. You know what I mean? It's like,
because he's got the hitting stroke of Johnny LeMaster.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a million awesome things about these guys. And then sometimes you absolutely never hear from them again.
No.
And that's true. It is so true. It shows how hard it is. But I just think overall it's just just very sleepy. You don't have as many athletes on the field. I don't know. There's just baseball.
You already put MF's 1999 donation up on the board. Did you talk about that one?
Oh, I missed it. Oh, MF. MF, baby. Oh, here.
So there were a lot of empty seats tonight at Chavez Ravine. Very sad, to be honest.
Sad exclamation.
1999, MF. Look at that.
Did you win some money tonight, MF? That's the third donation, isn't it?
Third donation for MF. Who can top 1999?
Come on. Who do I hear? 1999, 29.99, 29, 39.99.
Who was it that donated $200? Was that Todd K?
Todd K.
Todd K, I was told a couple of chats ago, donated some money at the very end of the chat, and we didn't put it up. And Len says that Todd K is upset and that he's like, screw you guys. You're not going to put up my.
God.
So I'd like to blame Dan, just because it's easy. I'd blame Faith or Buster, but it just seems unlikely.
You know what? I'm gonna take the blame on this one, Lair. I'm gonna shoulder the blame.
I would like to blame just anybody.
Is Todd K in the room anymore? I think we need to do a Todd K. I think we need to bring
Can
Todd
we blame
K
a politician or is anybody we can blame? I mean,
a Larry Krueger T-shirt.
Oh, we should for sure send Todd a T-shirt.
Todd, I feel bad. I do feel bad. I just want you to know that anytime anybody does put up a donation, it's our normal protocol to put them up like immediately and to say thank you. And so I just want Todd K to know that, hey, we appreciated. Mark says we need to send Todd a Krueg shirt.
Appler's coconut oil. How could Putin do this?
But in reality, seriously, we, I understand that, hey, people, dollars tough to come by, and for people donating to the chat, that's really, really cool. So I do appreciate it. I know we all do. So,
if anybody knows Todd K out there,
yeah, if anybody knows Todd K, just tell him.
Or, shout out from us. We've got a Krueg T-shirt and
possibly some tickets.
We've got I think we can pull some tickets off at an upcoming Giants game.
Do you got anything for like Dodgers? Not Giants, just Dodgers, and maybe like anything down south, anything. I'm just joking.
I don't know. I could get those, but we've got some games coming up here on this next homestand. We've got Chicago coming in. We've got Thursday night. Those might be available, or
invite them to the New York style Italian sausage golf tournament in August.
Oh, we've got Arizona on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night. In August 15th through the 17th. So Todd K, come on back and
come on down, Todd K. Come on down,
and maybe some sausage, huh? Get some sausage.
Get you some sausage.
I just had the chorizo for the first time tonight. Very delicious.
What's that?
I had the chorizo New York style Italian sausage tonight.
What? We grew up with a Sunday dinner.
That is awesome. You grew up with a Sunday dinner tonight?
Can we get that background picture? I don't want to see.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner.
Which background picture are you referring to?
I'm seeing Bellinger. That's all I see is Bellinger. It was a close-up.
There we go. There we go. It was a little all-star situation.
Yeah. I don't want to see.
Or we can go with this one, Dan.
There we go.
Mercedes, BMW, Porsche. Danny trying to unload his unsold tickets.
Oh God!
My tickets will sell.
Dan Coach Emilio broke into my house last night, and he left me 2 to the Giants game on the 19th. I'm going to call the authorities right now.
The 19th. He
broke into my car. He broke into my car, and he left me 2 tickets to the Giant game. You ever heard that joke? No, I'm just BSing you.
That is bringing some New York style Italian spicy sausages to Dodger Stadium this weekend. I'm assuming it's either to watch Rodon deal, or knowing MF, it is B, to throw up everywhere.
Yeah, hopefully. I hope.
Sexy Burrito says, "Get him the Marty Lurie Gotham Club pass."
I hope Rodon.
Have you guys ever been to the Gotham Club, Danny?
No.
No, I haven't actually gone up there. I've been meaning to, but
look at that. Yeah, I've been meaning to hobnob.
Meaning to meander.
I've been meaning to kind of rub.
I tried to find my way into. I tried to find my way into the booth the other day at the game, before the game, to see if I could play one of my calls for Dave Fleming.
Oh, you know what? I like this, Tony D. I don't know if there's any way to bet on this, but I do like the idea that, maybe Larry's throwing out a little inside information late on the Krueg show if you tune in.
That's right. Last night, I said on the Krueg show that there's going to be a mystery guest today on the game. And then I kind of said there was he wore number 8.
Yeah,
I said he wore number 8,
and I think I said he's the best BYU quarterback prospect.
Oh, Steve Young. Okay,
or that didn't bang his mom's friend.
Yeah. So Tony D said he felt like an insider. Well, everyone else had to wait. There you go. See, so that's what membership does for you.
Wait. I don't think we realize Think Blue. I don't know if Think Blue's new, but Think Blue is a
Dodger slogan.
He's a member though. He's a Dodger fan member. I hate to say it, but I appreciate you, Think Blue.
Think Blue's a member?
Yeah, he's a member.
I don't see
Are you sure
green.
about that?
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, that's right. Think Blue is a member.
He's a member. Thank you, Think Blue.
Yeah, that's right. Don't hate Dan. He just tells it like it is.
Covey
I tell the truth, even though the truth hurts.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. Danny will deliver the truth.
Covey's trying to break down.
I'm not gonna blow smoke up anybody's rear with
Is that Covey?
Yeah, it's Covey. Oh, it's got to be Covey.
Covey's in the house donating $5 off that Land Rover money. This $5 donation comes to us from a man who sells Land Rovers in Livermore. And if I ever told you that if I was going to buy a Range Rover or a Land Rover, I would only buy it from Ryan Covey at Livermore Range Rover or Land Rover. Ryan Covey, if I'm buying a Range Rover, if I'm buying a Land Rover, I ain't going to Pleasanton. I ain't going to Dublin. I ain't going to Walnut Creek. I'm going to Livermore. Ryan Covey is going to sell me my Land Rover / Range Rover in Livermore. Go check out Covey.
And you could put everybody in that Range Rover that you pick up, and you can drive them around and do the sports quiz talk and then have them do the Larry Krueger chant in the car. This would be this like drive around town, Larry Krueger trivia, see if guys know anything. That would just
wait. Covey says he sold 3 yesterday. Where's that? Did I see that?
And by the way, I got to say, Covey
sold 3 yesterday.
Hey,
damn.
And you only got $5?
Covey plays a lot of cards in Emeryville as well, so you got to be careful. You win some, you lose some.
I got to say, Covey, doesn't he live out in Concord?
Covey is one of my neighbors. I could see him at the dog park with that dog right there.
I thought Ryan used to live in
What
Concord.
What happened to Knuckles' other ear, by the way? Looks like Knuckles had an ear taken off. Did you get Knuckles near Tyson? That dog looks like it's a one-eared dog, does it not? Are you guys looking at Covey's dog?
Yeah. Oh, he's in Pleasant Hill. Okay.
Got one pointed down, one pointed up.
He's got like a shark fin. He's got one fin up. There's Knuckles. That's Knuckles, by the way, everybody. That's Knuckles and Covey. Covey's on the right. Knuckles would be on the left.
Okay.
It's like that one thing at the gym. If you go and you're going to go do rows, there's always that one that's like it one goes up and then one goes down. I never really know like who is using that. And what
here's the question of the night with Covey donating money here. And once again, Ryan Covey is giving up $5. He says, "What time are we breaking down Sharks free agency?" Covey, if we ever talk Sharks free agency, just, go find a weapon and come to my home and just assassinate me. Don't even knock on the window. If you just like see me, just shoot right through the glass. Don't even be like, "Hey, it's Covey. I'm here to kill you." Just boom, 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 real quick. Just make it quick. If we're talking Sharks free agency.
I got to give this shout out to Covey because I don't know if he remembers me. I think 2018 was when I interned at KMBR, but he was really great to me as an intern. When I think he came in, filled in a few times. Was super nice, super cool to me. So just, that's how you know the mark of a good man is how he treats his interns. So.
James Foster says Covey and Krueger are the best radio guys ever. Yeah, damn you, James Foster. You're right. You're damn right. Okay, but let's talk Covey for just a second here.
Yeah,
Covey is selling Land Rovers and Range Rovers. To me, if the Krueg show really took off, I mean, like we had like multiple Dan Coach Emilio sponsorships. I mean, it was just like that kind of. We're really fat. We're really rolling fat. We got all that, all those Grant Cohn hits, and we got all that. We got, we're just blowing up, like followers and just cash, just absolute cash. Like we're just stumbling all over cash, and we don't know what to do with it. If I had to go buy like a fancy car to like show off, be like, "Hey, look at me, look how, I don't need KMBR. I got this fancy car, and look at me." I think I would go see Covey in Livermore and buy a Range Rover or a Land Rover from Covey.
100%.
And then but seriously, I think that's a great looking car. I think if I don't normally spend 100 G's on a car, but if I was going like fancy car, I think I would go like Land Rover. Like, what's the pimp daddy Land Rover? Can you look up Land Rovers real quick?
Yes, I will.
Range Rovers. Is a Range Rover better than a Land Rover, Krueg, or is a Land Rover better than a Range Rover?
I think that a Range Rover is the more elite. Just judging by, that joke in Step Brothers where it's like he's the successful guy and he's like, I want to get ass. I want to drive a Range Rover.
Someone says, what's Krueg's favorite Italian sausages? Then Tony says, if Krug show takes off, he'll start taking 5-minute private jet trips like Kylie Jenner. Yes, very strong. 5-minute private jet trips. Okay, wait. J Stamps 101 says Land Rover is the car of a 5-star man, a finisher car.
Oh, Krueg might have just thrown a little dig at you, Larry.
What do you say?
I don't think he can. I don't think he thinks you can afford a real, a new one. Or he's just saying, right now, if you're in a pinch and you really need a Rover,
hit up that pre-owned inventory. Fuck you. Right. Fuck off with your pre-owned inventory, Krueg. Come on, seriously. I mean, there's very few times that you're going to get Larry Krueger to say fuck you. But you know what? You offer me the pre-owned. Fuck off. Fuck right off.
Well, the pre-owned might be.
You want me to go out to Livermore and have pits? I'm going to have, pit stains. It's going to be sweaty out there. And now, just F right off. And I mean it. Let me edit that comment. If you're getting a Range Rover and you're getting a Land Rover, don't ever go the fuck out to Livermore. My God, who the hell's got time? No, I'm just joking, Krueg. I love you, brother.
Bro. Extended warranty.
What? I don't know. They may not offer the V8 in the new cars anymore.
Kapler's coconut oil. Krug Unleashed. Sexy burrito. My dog licks my armpits.
Wait a minute. We got Kapler's coconut oil followed by sexy burrito.
Enough of Krueg. Let's get back to sexy burrito with licking armpits.
Okay, so we've got the Kapler's coconut oil followed by sexy burrito. Now we just need a Pasquale.
Wait. Also, just an important update. So
grew up with a Sunday dinner.
Yes, go ahead.
It looked like Len chimed in and Think Blue joined during the radio show today. He became a member during the radio show today, and he says he was an A's fan until Fisher destroyed the A's. I think
you're a good man, Think Blue. Yeah. But why go A's? Why go Dodgers?
Why did you go from one side of the bay all the way down to Southern California?
Wouldn't Angels be the natural one for him?
Yeah.
Stay in the AL West.
What?
We should play some Puff Puff Pass. We may need Cyrus on for that episode.
I want to see you post that thing you sent me today, Rye, with the weightlifting, the sausage.
Before Krueg goes away here, he says, "Good night, boys. What is the car?"
You ought to give him a line and have him call.
You're rolling fat. What are you driving?
See, the problem is,
are you going a sports car like a Pagini or something like that? Those Italian sports cars that cost like $300,000. Are you going? Going Rolls Royce? Are you going Bentley like G-Rad used to roll? Used to go with the Bentley.
I think I'd have to go Tesla just with the way gas prices are. But then I don't know. In this hypothetical world where I can afford any car, do I care about gas?
Yeah, seriously, it's gas. I mean, you might just pour some out, for your homies. I mean, you don't even. What do you care about the gas? That's what Dan Cochimilio does, right?
That's right.
Don't you pour a little bit on the sidewalk every time?
Sure. Yeah.
Some for my homies.
Yeah.
Just throw a gallon out for your buds.
I'm going with
Tesla. Krueg's questioning that. Wow, Tesla dismissed.
I'm going with a loaded.
I'm just saying, Danny, before you give your answer, we know what you would actually do and what Rye would do. You'd go buy a Land Rover or a Range Rover from Ryan Krueg in Livermore.
Yes.
But let's just say I don't know. Let's just say they're on back order. And you don't have that kind of FU money to get them to speed it up. So what is your second choice? Rye's going Tesla. Danny, what are you going with?
I'm going with the loaded 2022 Ram TRX. Give me the orange one. The orange.
That sounds like a male enhancement pill.
It's a Ram truck. It's a decked out. It's over $100,000. It's about
what's it called again?
$120,000.
You really had that on the tip of your tongue. Did you look this up?
TRX. I saw one in the showroom a few months ago.
Did I ever I actually, I produced a car show for 2 years over at Corolla. I was just like, I'll take as many shows as you want to give me. And I've a lot of random car knowledge popping around my head nowadays.
It goes 0 to 60 in 4.5
Yeah.
seconds.
I'll tell you the car that I did think was pretty pimp daddy did you guys see the Super Bowl when they advertised for the battery operated killer truck?
The Ford Lightning is unreal. We had
it has a dual cab and it was midnight blue. And
the Ford Lightning is actually shocking. We had the guy name drop. We had the CEO of Ford on, and he was like telling us all the specs and everything. Apparently, with that thing, it is so. First of all, like if you're working like a job, like you're a construction worker, you can just bring that car and it can power your entire day's worth of like electrical tools and everything. It can work as a backup generator for your entire house. And
this is what I've heard. I don't know if you guys know this. Maybe if Covey's still in the house, maybe he knows. I've been told that if you have an electric car, it's like Mayor Pete's telling everybody, "Hey, the key to the gas crisis is just buy an electric car." But I've heard that
charge the thing.
Well, that's what I heard. I heard that it would be like having 15 or 16 refrigerators. That it uses that kind of juice. That it would be like powering your whole house like times 2. So people always talk about how cheap it is. Danny, you're Mr. Money. If I decide, you know what, I don't want to buy a Range Rover or Land Rover from Ryan Covey in Livermore. He says, Rye says, remember when the dude after the 2014 World Series, when he told Mad Bum the truck they gave him came with technology and stuff. Yeah, that was Covey just talked about maybe the greatest moment in media history when the guy with the Chevy Colorado and it's got a package and it's got and stuff, technology and stuff. Did you guys hear that? I mean, it was just
that, yeah.
Epic. But a battery operated truck would be pretty sweet. I have to say that. But does it eat so much juice that it would cost you a ton?
I don't want no battery operated vehicle that stalls when I'm driving.
What's that? Danny's really old school.
You're really old school.
I am old. I don't need no green.
You don't
cars.
need no.
I don't want no. I don't want no satisfaction.
You can't get no satisfaction.
No, don't give me no stinking green car just because Brandon wants a freaking turn his green. No.
I mean, with gas prices though, but
Danny just to sum that up, Danny just said, "Let's go, Brandon." All right.
You'd almost, if you really could had the money, you could do
fine.
Dan, imagine this though. Imagine you get solar panels out in Arizona and all of a sudden you're completely off. You're not even paying for energy. It's charging your car. If the power ever goes out, it's a backup generator. Now I'm doing the cell. But I mean, like for my dad, for example, my dad's building, like, people have all these electric cars and they have the fast chargers and it just gets charged to like everybody's electric. It gets split up amongst everybody. So, I mean, it'd be no skin off my back.
Mark Graves says Tesla Plaid is the fastest car 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. Do I want a car that's 0 to 60 in 2 seconds? That's kind of scary.
Man, I'll have to check with my nephew. He's got 2 Teslas.
They have it's instant torque is the thing. So like even like the F-150 is faster than or the Ford Lightning truck is like faster than most like Porsches.
Eli Braunstein making an appearance tonight saying, Danny, you're wilding out. You're wilding out. I think you kind of went.
Dan, this is
kind of went political.
Speaking of wilding out, I've got this is what I sent Dan earlier.
Oh, this guy's...
So the New York style Italian sausage.
Yeah, us getting ready for the golf tournament.
Yeah, because we were talking. I said, Paige Sporonic, she plays golf. She lives down here in Arizona. I said maybe I can get her to join our foursome for Pasquale's tourney.
How great is that tournament going to be? We're going to be throwing back shots, Italian sausage. I think there's a chance that we all yak.
That's what I said.
It could be a great day. It could be a great day.
I said Pasquale getting ready for Paige Sporanic and then sent that.
What if we showed up at the New York style Italian sausage like freaking rogues and we're just throwing back shots? We're yakking. Danny's pulling out his junk on the course. We're menaces. We're menaces. And we just New York style yanks their advertising. They're like, this is ridiculous. Pasquale will not be subjected to this kind of behavior. We're disinvited from the golf tournament. Could you imagine that? Danny starting a chant, "Let's go Krueg" and all that. And I mean, we're just rogues. We just show up and we're just menaces. Danny's wearing rogue. Danny's wearing like FU t-shirts, and it's just we just stick out like a sore thumb.
Guys are ready to tee off. I say Larry, you say Krueger.
You're talking in people's backswings. You're walking in their lie. I mean, just every etiquette on the golf tournament, you're just busting it. You're like Rodney Dangerfield. You're pulling up on the green with music blaring. Oh my God, that would be awesome.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
We got sausage everywhere. We're eating sausage. We're throwing back shots. We're puking. Oh man, what a day! What a day!
Go up to the first guy and go, former greenskeeper, 18th hole, Augusta, about to win the Masters.
We unleash full Danny on him.
It's a Mack! It's a Mack!
MF donates $9.99. MF, look at this. It's payday at MF's house. He says, is Tim Ryan going to come on the Krueg show to talk ball? MF, I guarantee you I'm going to reach out to him. I'm going to see him at training camp like every single day. So, yeah, we will get him. I'm not sure if we'll get him live for a live stream, but we'll definitely get him on tape.
My dream is I want to go a great, breakout video would be just like us going to the gym with Tim Ryan, getting a lift in. I want to see what that's like.
Shoulders, back, and buys. Are we doing chest and tries, or is it shoulders, back, and buys? It's a big leg day. We're going quads and hammies. Danny, come on, get over here. Put your weight belt on.
I know. I'm imagining Tim Ryan's got a weight belt.
Oh, Tim Ryan's got a weight belt with his initials on it. Are you kidding me? I always used to laugh at the people at the gym, like couples who would work out together and they would have like matching like wristbands and headbands. Nothing says I'm lame like, here's my wife and she's got lime green wristbands and I have lime green wristbands. I mean that just screams I need to get my ass kicked in the parking lot. MF is Tim Ryan. Yes, we already read that. All right, so MF is donated by Eli Bronstein. It says Dan went Brandon on me. I'm sorry. Tony D, sausage is an expression.
We grew up with the Sunday dinner.
Oh man. I never get tired of the Sunday dinner.
Gonzo shitcock. Dan, this would be funny. Dan tries to police Tim's gym etiquette. Don't drop the plates.
Danny probably used to like bench like 375. Right, Dan? Were you a power lifter? Or was anybody in the Coach Emilio clan at all power lifters? Do you come from descendants of power lifters?
Ron, who played at Cal, he could lift pretty good. I did a lot of heavy leg lifts though because I was a place kicker, so my legs.
You were really a place strong. Kicker.
Yeah.
You're kind of like our version of Cody Parkey. Maybe going forward, that would be hilarious if we brought Danny in just to analyze the place kicks.
Yeah.
Dan Coach Emilio with us on the line. Dan, what do you think of Tony Zendejas here as he?
I went to Tony Zendejas's camp, kicking camp when I was in.
How many kickers could you name in the NFL right now? How many do you think you could name?
Let's just go back and let's just go in order until we
can't get a kicker. I'll go first. I'll go first. Mike Nugent. Everybody.
He's not current, though. You're talking about current.
Yes, he's current.
He's current.
That's Ted
You're
Nugent.
Not current.
Are you talking about?
In fact, you're so not current.
Fever.
Comes out.
Danny's getting muted. Don't call me not current.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Robbie Gold.
Robbie Gold.
All right, Dan.
Dan, go ahead. You got a kicker for us?
Okay. Gosh, hold on here.
Oh,
you were
don't
gonna
cheat.
Come on.
No, I'm not cheating. Look,
There's nothing worse than a cheat.
Nothing.
I'm
worse.
thinking.
Especially that's somebody's dealing with our money.
Okay, it's been a gosh. Who's come on? Who's the kicker? Oh, the.
Give me a
Raiders
kicker,
guy?
damn it.
What's the guy? The Raiders kicker guy from.
Daniel Carlson. There you go.
There you go. Daniel Carlson from Arkansas or something like that, or wherever he went.
All right, Larry.
Man, that's tough. I'm gonna go with Tyler Bass. Tyler Bass, and he is a kicker, and he kicks for, I believe, Buffalo. Tyler Bass.
All right, give me Jay Tuck, the opera man.
What's that?
Justin Tucker. More?
Oh, Justin Tucker. Oh,
Yeah.
wait a second.
Yeah,
now he's going for premier kickers. Have you noticed that? That's
man. I am not thinking.
all right, Danny.
Good.
Is it Danny's turn?
Yeah, I'm not thinking good here. Let me think. Gosh.
Skip Bayless's favorite thing.
I'll go Matt Prater. Matt Prater's a kicker.
Mason
Arizona?
Crosby.
Mason Crosby?
Oh, Mason Crosby. Yeah.
God dang it.
Brandon McManus.
I can't think of anybody. I'm going like old guys. Mick Luckhurst, who I used to work out with, or Jim Breach. Both those guys were Cal kickers. I got to work out with those.
Harrison
guys.
Butker. Giorgio Tavecchio.
I'm going with
Giorgio, another Cal guy.
Campo guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with is he a kicker or is he a punter? I'm going to go with Zane Gonzalez. Zane Gonzalez.
Oh shoot! Who's the guy who is?
Blanks. I'm drawing blanks.
I know this is kind of hard. Wait, who is the guy who is? Oh shit! He kicked for the Niners a little bit last year. He was on he was the jack guy on the Panthers. What is that guy's name?
Who's the Rams kicker? The guy.
Greg Zuerlein is not.
No, he's not with the Rams though.
You reminded me of Greg
Who's the
Zuerlein.
guy that kicked that winning field goal last year for the Rams against the Niners? What the heck was that guy's name?
Gay.
Yeah,
Matt Gay.
Matt Gay.
Matt Gay. Yeah, that's right. He used to be with the Lions. Jeez, I'm
generating content. Who's the
Harrison Butker?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Harrison Butker.
One of the elites of the elites. How about a little? Oh God, I can't even.
What's that guy that used to be with Kansas City? Little short
Will
guy,
Lutz.
Spanish.
Will Lutz.
No,
Santos,
Very good.
Santos or something like that. Greg.
Cairo Santos.
What was his first name?
Cairo.
Wasn't he with the Chiefs?
Yeah, he was with the Chiefs for a sec. Oh, what about what about the Steelers dude? Boswell.
Chris Boswell. Damn it. I'll go Greg Joseph on your ass.
Oh, you Greg Joseph to me? Is
Greg
that
Joseph? That's right. Vikings. 2 first names. All right, Greg Joseph.
Oh,
I can do this. I can go all.
Oh, how about the guy with
long.
How about the guy with Denver? The
Brandon
McManus.
Did we already say that?
Yeah, we already said it.
Oh, Danny, we already said that.
Gosh, who was he? Chicago. Who's Chicago?
How about this one? How about Nick Folk?
Oh,
I don't know what team. I couldn't name his team, but I know that he's in the NFL.
I think he's the Patriots or
Nick Folk.
Nick Folk.
Nick Folk. Say it really fast. Nick Folk.
Okay, this is better. I'm gonna name a team, and either of you, let's see if you could name the kicker. The Dolphins.
I think I just named him, didn't I? Didn't I say Jason Hansen? No.
Oh no.
Jason Sanders. Jason Sanders.
Oh, that's a good one.
Jason Hansen was the Lions kicker.
Yeah.
All those years.
The Jets.
Ooh, the Jets kicker. Nugent, isn't it Nugent? I thought it was Nugent. No.
Who's the stud kid on the Bengals? The guy who's freaking
Zuerlein, the ex-Rams kicker, is the Jets kicker. Zuerlein.
Oh, really?
Greg Zuerlein's into the
Jets
Jets.
is
Zuerlein.
Amendola or something?
He's a receiver.
I think that's it. I think we're done.
No, there's a guy named.
All right, that's enough. I've absolutely had it. You don't know your kickers. You're not being polite to people.
Look at Graves, Dan. Just punt already.
Oh, do you want to go with punt? Do you want to go with a punter, Danny? If you have better knowledge of punters, we can go punters.
Oh, McPherson, that's what it was.
McPherson. Yeah. Graham Gano.
Hey,
remember Gary Gnu's?
All right,
I just looked him up. I want an apology. Hey, am I on?
Yeah, you are on.
Mart Amendola, New York Jets.
He's a backup kicker,
but he did kick 13 field goals last year.
Doesn't matter.
19. That's not the starter. Not backup. Hey,
Greg Zerline's there now. New sheriff in town.
New sheriff.
He was there. He played 11 games.
Get more current with your kickers. Get more current with your kickers.
I'm not good at the kicker game anymore. They come and go.
Okay, guys. Are you guys
too fast?
What happened to Danny? Well, you know what? He fell out of touch with the kickers, and it kind of went down from there. He lost the chat. He lost the ability to chat because nobody wanted to chat with him because he didn't have good kicker knowledge, and that is an essential part of being a sports host. Is you must have depth of knowledge that includes kickers, and you really gotta know your kicker game. Especially on this channel. I mean, if you know your kicker, there are people that aren't even good at talking sports, but they know their kicker game.
I know my kickers more from the 80s, 90s than I do today's kickers.
Go ahead. Morton Anderson.
Yeah, the Saints.
Tony Frisch.
Tony Frisch. He was
Ephraim Herrera.
Ephraim Herrera. I remember him.
Tony Septien.
Yep.
What do you mean, yep?
Yep, Mick Luckhurst, Jim Breach.
Yes. Jan Stenerud.
Yeah, George Blanda.
You know what we don't see anymore? It's funny how sports evolve. Who is the guy for Washington? Mark Mosley?
Mark Mosley, straight-ahead kicker.
He was a straight-ahead kicker. That used to be the prevalent style. They used to call anybody that kicked it off.
Remember Tom Dempsey?
Yeah, they would. Well, he had a club foot, but they would call the guys that would kick it off the balls of their feet, soccer-style kickers. Now, soccer-style kickers are all that exist. There are no pendulum kickers anymore.
Sean S says the All-Star game was boring, just painful to watch. Yeah, I think you can tell by our chat we're naming kickers.
Wait, can you name a kicker?
Garo Yepremian, remember that play in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he lost it for the Dolphins. Ryan's too young to remember, but Garo Yepremian mishandled a snap and then just threw it into the air.
You know who caught that? Do you remember who got that? Do you remember the player? For the Redskins?
Was it Riggins?
Say that.
No, he was on offense, Larry.
No, I know. It was a special teams play.
Yeah, who was the special teams guy?
I think
it's a fish.
You knew.
I'm giving him a clue. It was a fish.
First of all, screw off. I was like 6.
Yeah, but you're Mr. Sports Trivia buff.
I was freaking 6.
I don't care. Then you shouldn't talk about anything before.
All right.
Don't you ever challenge me on my channel.
Okay.
You'll be muted. I'll take it away from Graves and say, I don't care if you're unmuted. You're staying muted.
Okay,
Dan's
guys.
being muted. Could you imagine we muted Dan for an entire live stream and he was just here? He was here in the bottom. He was trying to talk, but he was just muted the whole time. I mean, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Wait, Larry.
Do you remember Willis Reed in the NBA Finals?
Yes, I do. 73.
You're not allowed to talk about that. You were 3.
All right, you're muted again.
No, seriously, that kind of crapola doesn't fly on the Krueg show. Maybe you can do that on the Dan Coach Emilio channel, but you can't do it here.
Hey, Larry, I've been thinking it was
right.
so funny if one time we just didn't react to Dan, so then he thought that he was muted, and we just fully ice him out, and then he'll think that he's muted, and then probably start saying some pretty outlandish, thinks he's off camera, talking to.
Then he starts giving us the real Dan Coach Emilio, or you know what it is? It becomes a series of this. He's just gonna start beating up his microphone.
Do you guys want to do some predictions for the second half? I've got
particularly. No, we'll go ahead. We can.
I think it was Bass with the Redskins, if I remember right. Bass picked up the fumble or the premium pass. Check it out.
You guys have any interest?
Look it up. You look it up.
I'll look it up. Garo premium. Super Bowl.
All right, so I got a little thing set up. Oh, that's my prediction.
Oh, wait a second. Jay says, I will pay to mute Dan. Jay, how much are you going to pay to mute Dan? We'll make a deal and take it away from Graves. Everybody's got a price.
Everybody.
Or we could just take Jay's cash and just make 2 people that could potentially mute Dan. Imagine if the chat over time was proliferated with nobody, only people who wanted to mute Dan.
Hey, I'm not the guy who says poo-poo and pants and come on.
Well, that does get muted from time to time.
True.
Okay, here's the pen. Okay.
Dusty Gold says mute time, but Dusty doesn't really have muting.
I remembered right. It was Mike Bass who caught that of the Redskins. Mike Bass,
ladies and gentlemen. Now you can all rest and go back to bed. Mike Bass.
It was a great play. It was a great play.
I believe you. What year was that? What year was that? It was like 76, wasn't it?
It was before that. It was
74. Yeah, it was like 4.
It was 70. It was their.
It wasn't 70.
71 or 70. No, 72, 73.
69 was Super Bowl 3.
It was their 17-0 season.
It must have been Super Bowl 7, right?
Yeah, it was their 73.
No,
right?
Super Bowl 7.
72. 72. It was 72. It was their perfect season. Yeah, 72. Who's Jay?
Look at this. Eli Bronstein. Dan, you should start a channel and usurp all of Larry's viewers. Monster Slam.
Yeah, Monsters. You're welcome to the Monster Slam show.
Damn you, Bronstein.
And then Dan takes us to small claims courts to get to Monster Slam.
Yeah, I get it back. And we're going to have Larry as a guest from San Quentin.
I tune into Dan's show. I'm Dan Coach Emilio. He's Eli Bronstein, and we'll be back with more after this.
We're going to have a special guest. We're going to go out to Larry Krueger, who tried to.
So, Danny, how did you part ways with the Krueg show? Well, actually, there was this guy in the chat named Eli Bronstein, and we talked after the show, had a cup of coffee. Next thing I know, we've got our own channel. It was a rival channel, much smaller, less impactful channel, but still a channel. Bay Area GM says, I watching.
LOL. What
Bay Area GM looks like not to be messed with.
Not to be messed with.
Yeah, seriously.
No, my ass.
Do not mess with Bay Area GM.
So do you guys have any interest in doing this? We'll run through some predictions and we can kind of.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make some predictions.
All right. So let's start with this. I put Dan first. I put, obviously, you're hitting.
You always put the leader first.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Dan, prediction for the record.
Says maybe Danny can start a wannabe channel. Wannabe channel. I like that. God. There's the bumblebee, the wasp, and the wannabe.
All right. Yeah.
What's the record? Second half of the year. You could just tell me their final record, and I could do that.
Who's
Carlo P. The All-Star Game brought out one of the top Krueg shows of all time. Thank you.
Whose record, Dan? What? The Giants.
Okay, so we're doing with their final record, what it's going to be, or just second half record?
Danny's channel name, going to Bond.
What are they now? 48.
That's pretty good.
going to Bond. I like it.
Going to Bond. That is good.
What's the record now? 48 and 43.
Yeah, and there's 71 games left.
Okay, so there's 71 games left. They are
MF's got a bold prediction. He says Tyler Rogers will get DFA'd.
Oh, I like that prediction.
You know what? That brings a smile to my face. I'm thinking, where are we going to replace that 74-mile-an-hour heater?
Okay, so 42.
This one, Tommy Huxley. Taylor is greater than Tyler. Remember when Danny was in the bleachers? And, what's your name? What's your name? The guy's like Taylor. What's your name? Taylor. Oh, we got Tyler blankety blank here.
I don't think I said that. I think I said Cairo Estradas. I think I said
no. The guy. You asked the guy his name. He said Taylor twice.
Do it again. I think
I
said
Taylor Bentley, baby.
Listen.
Taylor Bentley.
Taylor Bentley.
His name was Taylor Bradley, and you call him Tyler Bentley. You called him Tyler Bentley.
Said his name was Taylor Bentley.
Wait. Let's quiet down. Let's try and play it from the top. Let's hear it again.
Your name, Taylor Bentley. Bentley, baby.
What is it?
Taylor Bentley. Woo!
Taylor Bentley.
I said it right.
No, you did not.
I did too.
No, you
Listen,
didn't.
listen.
Name. Taylor Bentley, baby.
Taylor.
What is it?
Taylor Bentley. Woo!
Taylor Bentley.
Taylor Bentley, and you called him Tyler Bibley. Or
I don't
something.
think so.
All right, one more
I
time.
don't think so. One more.
What's your name? Taylor Bentley, baby.
What is it?
Taylor Bentley. Woo!
Taylor Bentley.
You know what? We'll gotta give Dan a break because you know what? You had a little Strata on the tip of your tongue, so because you immediately said
Mercedes, BMW, Porsche. Dan drunk with Tyler. Oh, that is awesome. And
Okay,
by the
so-
way, Bay Area GM, great line. This is a sausage fest. Bay Area GM, you could say anything. We wouldn't disagree with you with that face. We're afraid that you might come after us. I mean, this can take Bay Area GM could tell
Can we
jokes
blow
that
that
aren't
up?
funny and we laugh,
Can I
right?
blow that
I mean,
up?
it's like we're that afraid.
Oh yeah, I could. You can. Oh wow. Hey.
All right, what are our predictions? What do you
All
want?
right, I'm going to go with a 42 and 29 second half,
wow,
and the Giants finished 90 and 72.
wow.
13
That is good.
games.
That's That's optimistic. I'm going
What
to
do
go
you-
38 and 33, putting them at a respectable 86 and 76.
Now this is going to be fun. I got
I'll
him
say-
going 20 and.
This is we're talking about the Giants now.
Second half record, there's 71 games left, so they're 48 and 43. You could just tell me their final.
I'll say 37 wins. 37 wins. 37 and 34.
That sounds pretty good. Okay, 80. So I'd put them right on the Vegas number. I believe it was
37
84.
and 34 doesn't equal 71, though, does it? Wait.
Realmoney.com on the
It
web.
does. Yeah, wait, it does.
Wait.
Okay.
Oh, wait, it does. Yeah. All right. That's good. All right. Now, this is obviously going to be.
Addition, subtractions, tricky friend.
Yes. This is obviously going to be subjective, but who is your second half MVP for the Giants?
Hold on, I got it. One of the dogs is crying. I don't know if they got to the bathroom. Who's crying?
Uh-oh.
All right.
Uh-oh. Wolf attack. Wolf attack
hold on.
inside the house.
Lart.
Probably got a hand of that chicken ass that you were selling last week. That's what's wrong with that dog. Took one bite of that chicken crap that you had.
Larry, do you want to
What's the question?
MVP of the second half for the Giants?
MVP of the second half for the Giants will be
Hey, buddy, what do you want?
MVP of the second half for the Giants.
Juan Soto.
I'm going to say Brandon Crawford.
I love that.
That's a good pick. So we have to pick somebody different.
Thanks. Now you're pandering. Now you're
Good
patting
pick.
me
Good
on the
pick.
head.
As Dave Fleming.
I'm getting that little pat on the head.
As Dave Fleming. Or no,
Do I get a
those guys are
treat?
Good pick. Good pick.
Treating me like Faith and Buster over here.
All right,
pick.
Dan.
What did you already pick?
Nope.
So this is what Giants MVP of the second half.
Yeah.
Mercedes, BMW, Porsche, ass steak. Take that dog to the ER immediately.
I'm going to go with the other Brandon. I'll take the captain.
All right, Brandon Bell. I like it.
There you go. The two guys on the team we can name. All right. What's the next question?
Well, I got.
Who did you pick?
Who'd you
pick?
I'm gonna go with. Ooh.
Are you going with Austin Slater?
Joey Bart.
Part of me wants to go with Estrada.
I know you do, and you also want to think. You're thinking Bart too. Like
All right,
Buster Posey in 2010.
Mercedes?
Go with Bart. Come on.
We're talking Land Rovers. Can you go to a Mercedes?
Go with Bart.
Joey Bart.
I knew it. I told him.
Yeah.
Joey Bart.
I hope you're right, because if he
Jay
does, if
Stamp
he is
said
the
you do it. He said Joey Bart.
if he is the second half MVP, the Giants are definitely getting in the playoffs.
All right, and then this is, Cy Young. Basically, this is Rodon or Webb, right?
YouTube expert, by the way, says, "Hey Larry, who won the home run competition you had with Mark Willard? I won, and Willard never paid. That's the truth. I lost a bet to him, paid day one. I beat him in a bet. To this moment, he is yet to pay.
And I heard him on the radio on the game tell you that you paid right up, and he.
That's right. I gave him a crisp C note because that's the way I roll.
Nobody ever pays, and then he hasn't paid you.
He owes me a round of golf.
You got it.
Yeah, I know. What?
Yeah.
What? You want me to rough him up?
Yeah.
Send somebody to the station to rough him up.
I think you'd bring in Bay Area GM with you. Hey, I brought the GM with me.
Yeah, Bay Area GM show up and take care of Willard. I'm just joking. God, what if somebody took us seriously? They were saying, show up and beat them up. So I showed up and I beat them up. All right. We're all going to jail.
You guys
did you see that? Speaking of beat up, did you see that thing on Twitter? The referees, the two referees that were getting people in the stands were coming after them, and the one of the I sent it to you guys.
Soccer? Was it soccer?
No, it's basketball, and one of the refs.
I saw that.
Just the guy.
Come on, man. You're reffing an AAU game and you knock a guy out cold and he didn't ever see you. I mean, seriously, if you're a tough guy, then
the ref
tap the guy on the shoulder and start taking off your watch and just start pointing to outside and let's go outside. Don't sucker punch him from the side.
But he was going after the other ref. He was going after the other ref. Oh, my God, I couldn't believe that. The guy knocked the guy's wife down as well. Come on, dude. And don't start fights around children. My God. Don't you realize that if you fight around kids, that they're going to be scarred by that? They're going to be like, that's going to scar them. Do not have, start fighting people around children. My God, some of these people lose their freaking mind. It's an AAU basketball game. You don't need to throw hands at an AAU basketball game. I'm getting some smack talk from Think Blue. He says, Dan, you are out of your mind because I predicted 42 and 29. Okay.
Well, I think I agree with him. I think you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
We'll see who has the last say on this. And
you must be a season ticket holder hoping to sell tickets in September.
You know what? I'm recanting my Joey Bart. I'm sorry.
That didn't take long.
It didn't. I thought, I'm realizing this is not the right award for Bart.
Mark Graves, you won a round of golf. Now you got to hang out with him for 4 hours. Did you really win? Seriously, that is so true.
I'm going Tyro.
Tyro, really?
Inclination, yeah. Tyro.
I hope
Dusty
Bart
Gold,
like
Welcher, Willard, Welcher. Where did that come from? Did you pay the bet? No, I'm a Welcher.
Yeah, that term. Wonder where it came from.
Probably. I bet you it's not PC. I bet you there's something wrong with that.
Probably some guy named Welch didn't pay up. Oh, you got Welcher didn't pay you. Welch.
All right, who you guys going
Mercedes, for? Mercedes, BMW, Porsche. They don't call him Dan Coco for nothing.
What's the next one, Ryan?
Next one's Cy Young. So I mean, it's basically between Rodon, Rodon and Webb. Who you got?
Who's got first pick?
Wait, Cy Young? You mean for the Giants?
The Giants
or for Sandy Alcantara?
Essentially, I'm just saying like best pitcher for the Giants.
Best pitcher. Who's going to determine all this?
Second half.
I mean, is this a subjective? Are we going to have a battle like, no, Pelt was better than Crawford?
That's right. We're going to fight it out in the parking lot.
Well, we will fight it out. It'll make for great fodder.
Best pitcher. Who's got first pick? I can't see.
You do.
What would happen if Ryan just absolutely kicked your ass?
I bet
Ryan might get arrested. He might get arrested.
I thought I was going to go third.
Ryan, how old are you?
26.
How old are you, Danny?
60.
I was like, that's a hate crime. That's a hate crime.
That's right, man.
This 26-year-old punk beat up a senior in at the over 55 residence.
He's 6'5". Ryan's 6'5", man.
A big menacing 26-year-old showed up at a 55 and over home and started throwing hands and took out a Giant season ticket holder. How would that play? People would be like, they'd be like a GoFundMe page for Coach Emilio.
Yeah, Ryan's too nice. He's too nice.
I don't know. What happened? Well, it all started on the Krueg show in a chat. Yes.
And the next thing we knew, of his Joey Bart, talked him into Joey Bart, and
Ryan had boarded a plane. He went to the club Boca Vista, and he looked up Danny, and that's it. That was it.
All right, so I'm going to go with
yes, he beat him up right after the early bird special. Danny was coming out of dinner. It was like 5:45, and boom, knocked to the ground.
Bought him out of Marie Callender's walking.
Since I'm going to go first,
he was eating right. He was eating right in the neighborhood. What
is Red Robin or
no Applebee's? What's the Applebee's thing?
Oh, Applebee's.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
Danny was eating good in the neighborhood, and a 26-year-old, a menacing, tall 26-year-old, came and kicked his ass. And it all started in the Krueg Show chat. That would do great things for the numbers for the channel.
It really would.
It really would.
Danny
Ryan would be arrested for elder abuse.
Hey, we've got another Dodger.
Danny would make friends. He'd give tickets to Ryan.
What's going on? We've got Think Blue and I Love the Dodgers. Wow, I think we're going to convert.
Dusty Gold says, Ryan, you look younger than that.
It's the lighting.
We're going to convert a couple of these Dodger fans into Giants fans. So
we don't want that. We don't want their stinking conversions. I don't want I don't want some guy walking around, yearning for Mike Scioscia. Get lost. We don't need you. Right? Take your Steve Sachs and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, and you can have Oral with you, Oral Hershiser. How do you like to have that? Did I
ever tell you my Oral Hershiser story? I sat next to him on a flight when he was with the Giants. So I'm sitting next to him on a flight, and he's pretty talkative. And we're talking. It was just a flight from San Francisco to San Diego, and then he's like, yeah, why don't you sit here? He's like, I forget who he didn't want to sit next to, but he didn't want somebody to sit next to him. He's like, sit down. So I sat down. And then he saw me on the as we're boarding on the flight back. He's like, "Guys, sit down. You can sit next to me. I don't have anybody with me. I don't want this guy sitting here. I don't want to talk baseball." And anyway, so I'm talking. So he's talking to me a little bit during the flight. It's about 2 days later, and it's like I hear Oral Hershiser talking, and I say to my wife, "I'm like, you're never going to believe this, but I feel like I can hear Oral Hershiser talking." And she's like, "What do you mean you can hear him talking?" I go, "I just sat on the plane with him, and I just know that voice, and I can hear him talking." She's like, "Well, where's that coming from?" And I'm like, "I don't know." We look out the window of our apartment on Sacramento Street. He's down on the bottom floor on the street, and he's loading antique furniture into his car.
What a call by you.
I'm like, wow. That is Oral Hershiser. I just sat next to him. I heard him talking yesterday, and he was talking. It was clear as day. I looked down. I said, "Oral." Yeah, gave me a look like, "Who the hell are you?" I'm the guy you sat next to on the airplane. Larry, how you doing? Part of the pregame show? Yeah.
Was he with the Giants at that point?
Yeah, it was 97. 97 Oral, or 98, maybe 98.
Have you guys seen that? Have you seen that? There's a picture. I've actually got it on my phone, sitting at I think it might have been at a Giants game, and one person's wearing number 19, and the next person to the right is wearing 88. And on the back of 19, it says "miserable" as the last name, and on the back of 88, it said "since." So it read "miserable since 1988."
Oh, geez, that's great.
Yeah.
Does the Dodgers, that's the other debate. Did the Dodgers win in the pandemic really count as a Super Bowl win or as a World Series win? Or are they still, do you consider 88 their last legit title?
I consider it a legit title. The last legit title is 88. Even though baseball awarded it, I look at it this way. After 60 games in 2019, the Nationals wouldn't even have qualified for the playoffs, and they won the World Series.
I mean, this hat
normally that sounds like hate. Normally that sounds like a lot of hate, but I kind of agree with Dan on this one. I don't think a 60-game World Series is a World Series.
Well, no, with those fans, too. I mean, what I would say is that the Lakers and the Dodgers combined for one championship.
Because they both won in the bubble.
Neither got a parade either. So
yeah, and UCLA combined for 0.25 of a Final Four.
The way I looked at it in 2020, I thought, the Giants had a shot getting in the last weekend. They blew it to the Padres, and I thought they were going to play the Dodgers, right? 1-8 it was going to be, and I thought, oh, that would be kind of fun to see. The Giants kind of knock out the Dodgers or whatever. But I thought to myself, if the Giants get into this thing and win it, it will be like, it's a good, happy, but not that big of a deal because, as I tell people, once you taste the real thing, imitations don't. It's like having steak versus gristle, right? You know, you don't want
like
to
that ass that you were feeding us the other day.
Exactly. Versus having a Ruth Chris.
Filet mignon.
Yeah.
I had steak and Danny had steak, but it was a different steak.
So I was like, I thought, I'm not.
What was the name of that? What was the name of that crap again?
Oh, what the heck was that?
Consent or something? What the hell was that?
Conversions or what was it?
Go find it. Go find it. Go get it. Go get it. That's what we should call the Dodgers World Series.
All right.
Is whatever that crap ass stuff that Janny was eating last week.
Okay, I'm getting rid of the most value or the pitcher award because it's just too much of a two-man race. So we're going to move on to Rookie of the Year, which includes both Luis Gonzalez,
what is it?
Joey Bart, and anybody
completes. Yeah, that Dodger title was a completes title. There's no question. It was a definite completes.
It was imitation. Like, the potatoes were okay, but the beef was awful. I mean, it was just like
when anybody says Dodgers won a World Series recently, you say completes.
Just
it was like a completes.
Layman.
They'll look at you. They won't know what the hell you're talking about. It doesn't matter. Hormel.
Okay. All right. Who do we got for Rookie of the Year the second half?
We didn't pick the pitchers, did we?
Yeah, I just stopped.
Well, Rodon.
Yeah,
I took Webb.
Yeah, I took Webb, but who cares? It's too close to call. Okay, Rookie of the Year. So this could include Bart, Luis Gonzalez, or anybody else that's called up in the second half.
I'm going Luis Gonzalez. I think Luis Gonzalez is legit. I really do.
Second half?
I like Luis Gonzalez.
Who's second? Who's got next pick?
You do.
I'll take Bart.
Okay.
I love the Dodgers, says Larry. You've been to Dodger Stadium? Many, many times. Many times. Love Dodger Stadium. It's awesome.
I'm going Joey Bart, too.
For Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, for the second half.
How about VR?
Yeah, VR's putting together good at bats. I'll say that about VR. It gives you a very professional at bat.
For sure. I mean, I'm surprised Danny didn't take him, but after meeting his parents.
Stamp says Gonzalez, but Villar's on his heels.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right.
And Matt says he's going to Chavez Ravine this weekend. Oh, you love it. You kidding me?
I heard they changed the Dodger dogs down there. They're no longer Farmer John hot dogs. They're no longer Farmer John.
Yeah.
What are they?
Dodger dogs are one of the most overrated pieces.
Oh, Dodger dog is bologna in a hot dog form. I mean, it tastes like bologna.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Most improved from the first half to the second. Danny, you're up.
I mean, somebody had to have a crappy first half. So
take your pick. Who hasn't had a crappy first half?
I'll take. I think he's gonna. Let's see. I'm gonna take my buddy, Brandon Crawford.
All right, B-Craw. All right, I'm gonna go with late night.
Late night Lamont. That's not bad. I'm going with Duggar. No, I'm going with Big Darren Ruff.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Big Darren Ruff.
Ruff is on the move.
That's what the guy who's the Brewers announcer who also did Brian Anderson, BA or whatever. He kept it. And coming up, Big Darren Ruff.
Big Darren Ruff, yeah.
Big Darren Ruff.
Crawford.
Making him seem like he's just some awesome guy. It's like this guy, this guy was in the KBO like literally like 45 minutes ago. Now he's Big Darren Ruff. Hopefully Ruff rebounds and has a good second half.
What do you guys think they put Crawford on the IL because he's got that knee that's bothering him in the field? Saying,
well, because he hit it at home plate. Was that 10 days ago or so?
Oh, like
a bone bruise?
A month ago on that slide. Where was
that a month ago?
Yeah, and then it was about a month ago. They put him on the IL, then he came back, and then it's still bothering him. Hopefully he gets that thing right, and they don't have him come back too soon. Let that thing really get hopefully healed up so that but who was the surprise you think of the first half? Do you think it would have been Slater? He ended up 305.
I was going to actually ask if we wanted to do similar awards to give out for the first half, but
I'm going to go Jacob Junis.
Yeah, how could you not? I mean,
Jacob Junis was a surprise to me.
So maybe. I mean, you could go.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask you guys. One of the things I thought was kind of cool was the All-Star game when they used the format Team USA against Team World.
I love that.
Yeah.
What would you think if you had that in the NBA? You could have the USA team could be like Steph, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, LeBron, and KD. The international team could be Ben Simmons, Luka Doncic, Giannis, Jokic, Joel Embiid.
Ooh.
How cool would that be, though? Like the US against the world in NBA All-Star as an All-Star format.
It's just
they
would almost have too many bigs.
The Euro team or the international team? Yeah.
I mean, because what would you put? I mean, that is a massive lineup. All those guys are huge. I mean, and then you got Wiggins coming off the bench.
Yeah, Wiggins would be. Yeah, he's Canada.
Who else would be?
I don't. The other thing I saw today, I want to get your guys' thought. You see Strasburg? They're saying he's not coming back the rest of the year.
Yeah, not this year. Yeah.
He's making $35 million a year, and he hasn't pitched in a long time, and he may not pitch for a long time.
And they got 4 more years. 4 more years after this. They got him all the way up to 38.
What do you guys think as far as Giants in the playoffs in the second half? The Giants have played sub 500 baseball. They went 14-7 in April, and since then they're sub 500. But they do still have 14 left against the Dodgers and 9 left against the Padres. So there's still plenty of time in the NL West. What do you think of? Are the Giants? Are they going to get a wild card spot? Are they going to fall short? I think they're going to fall short. Danny, it sounds like you have the most optimism. Are they a playoff team, Danny?
Well, I'm banking on that they make a deal, and I don't know what that deal is going to be, but I think this is a team that's coming off 107 wins that has some fire in it. Hopefully Jock doesn't get dealt. And I think with the veterans of Crawford, Belt, and Jock, Rodon,
Longoria,
those guys, I think they're going to turn it up a notch and say, hey, we got to play better ball. And I think that I'm kind of hopeful. There's a part of me that says having your worst streak already hopefully is gotten out of you in July, and it didn't happen in late August or September. I'm hoping that, baseball does that. There's a lot of peaks and valleys in the season. And I just kind of think maybe they got it out of them and that the veteran part of them will come through. And, to only go 13 over 500 is not, not that big of a deal. 42. Let me see what that is. 42 divided by 70.
James Foster, while you're doing the math, donates $1.99. He says, Jock over or under 25 jacks by the end of the season. Oh, definitely over. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely over.
That's 591 ball if they go 42 and 29. I mean, they're capable. I mean, a lot of it will depend on if they make any deals. And, they've got the 2 series that they're coming out of. When they come out of the break, they got 4 against LA, and then they've got the 4 in Colorado and 3 in Arizona. No, wait a minute. I'm looking at September. Excuse me. Let's see. 4 in LA, 3 in Arizona, 4.
Let me ask you guys a question right here. If you guys could DFA one player on the Giants at the break, who would you DFA?
Tommy LaStella.
Wow.
I'm going to go Longo.
I can see LaStella for sure. Longo makes sense because of the presence of VR.
Yeah.
I agree with Rebel 444. I've had it with Tyler Rogers. I don't trust Tyler Rogers in any big situation. And the Giants, the way they use their pen, they're rolling out 4 and 5 guys every day. So it's like Tyler Rogers is going to pitch in a lot of big games, a lot of close games. And I just think that
Rogers come back to form.
I just want to see. I would like to see him farmed out because I just don't think that you can. For like, if you take left-handed hitters, let's say, and he's throwing 74, they can just wait. If their game plan is to shoot it to the opposite field, they can do it almost at will. So I just think that he's one of those guys that you can only pitch when you're up 5 or down 5, and they're not up 5 and down 5 very much. So I DFA him. I would try to trade him.
Yeah.
He pitched so well last year. And, I just think that the Giants need to define some roles for their bullpen. Last year, you knew who was the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th guy. It was like Leon in the 6th, Rogers 7th, McGee 8th, and Duvall. And then for a while it was McGee in the 9th, and then Rogers was in the 8th, and Leon and there was one other guy that was pitching well. Can't remember, Garcia, Alvarez, those guys. But I just think they need roles, and it's like they got to get somebody that – I think they need some more guys in the pen. They're signing guys right now. They got another lefty. They're getting these journeyman guys that are, high ERAs from other clubs.
Jay Stamps is like, Brebbia's been worse than Rogers? What? Brebbia's been like one of the most consistent guys in their pen all year.
Yeah.
Brebbia's been actually pretty good this year.
And by the way, you owe Brebbia a B. There's three B's in Brebbia, and don't forget that.
You know what's crazy, and I didn't really realize it, is how we're like, we're talking about, obviously, baseball, things can turn real quick. You know that on June 28th, the Padres were 45-28, and the Dodgers were 45-29.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers now have a 10-game lead.
Dodgers been raking.
Dodgers won 15 out of their last 17. Padres 7.
S4G says Gene Machi ate himself out of the league with Sandoval. Somebody asked about Gene Machi. Oh, here we go. Nick J. What happened to Gene Machi? Did I tell you the time when I was in Denver and I spent $700 on tickets for 4 innings of a baseball game? We were at a wedding. I bought tickets, Giants Rockies. They go 4 innings. The sky opens up. I mean, it was a sunny, hot day in Denver. And then suddenly there was like hail. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my life. I was literally sitting there sweating, hot, wishing that I had worn shorts. And then like 15 minutes later, it's like pitch black. It's hailing. An hour later, they're suspending the game, which is worse because you don't get a refund.
Right.
And they picked it up in September, and I was in Denver, and it was May, and I paid $700 for tickets.
Oh.
But yeah, seriously, $700 for 4 innings of baseball in Denver. The one highlight of the game, right before the game, we're standing right behind the dugout, and Machi comes in. He sees my kid standing there with a Giants hat on. Kid didn't even say anything, and he rolled him the ball. It's like, hey, here you go. That's what's cool about watching your team on the road, is that there's so few fans of your colors that if you just hang out by the dugout, guys start throwing you souvenirs because it's like, hey, our fans are here to support us. Here you go. Boom. I love that. It's kind of fun going to baseball games on the road wearing your colors.
It's not impossible that the Giants couldn't catch San Diego. They're only 2.5 back, and they're only 1 back in the loss column.
Well, and AJ Preller says he's going to make moves. So we'll see. That sounds like they want Soto. Hey, by the way, did you guys see the Warriors picked up Jermichael Green today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Ryan, what'd you think of that?
I mean, he's a little washed, but I would have liked it over 3 years ago. But I mean, his shooting's dropped off. But I mean, on open jumpers, it's going to be different. It's going to be like DiVincenzo. Like DiVincenzo's going to surprise everyone and shoot 39% from 3 this year. And then I think Jermichael Green could be 37%. He's just big.
He was
win.
36 last year. You think it might go up 38, 39, 40 with the open shots?
I mean, why not, right? I mean,
what I like about him is he's 87% foul shooter last year. So, I mean, think about it. When you're shooting close to 90% from the line, that means you can be in the finishing lineup. And could you imagine if the Warriors had some lineups where, the one thing about Jermichael Green, he can get up and down, he can block shots, he's a jumping jack, he can run. He's 32, but he still is very athletic. if you had him on the floor with Poole, Poole's what, a 93% foul shooter, Steph,
Curry and
Clay, and now you got, let's say, Green and JaMychal. If you're the Warriors, just keep the ball away from Green and let him foul you. I mean, it would be almost impossible to come back on a team that employs 4 guys shooting 90% from the foul line.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, okay, I'm looking at his advanced stuff. Wait, yeah, Dan, he shot 26% last year.
I thought it was 36.
No, he shot
career 36.
He shot 27 on catch and shoots. Let's see.
Kind of a power forward, by the way, JaMychal Green, power forward.
Yeah. Oh, on open threes, though, he shot 34%. His wide open threes, the sample size isn't long enough or big enough, but open threes, I mean, he's going to get wide open three. He's going to shoot like 35%, I bet, next year.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting because if Wiseman's in the lineup, he'll open up the floor even more. Spacing.
Dusty Gold says McClung finished strong in the summer league. Golden State went 1-7 in the summer league, but I'll say this. The spin, I don't know if anybody saw this, but the spin move that Kuminga had against OKC. Did you see that?
Oh,
He
yeah.
spun to the hole and jammed it. And it was just powerful, man. It was incredible. So you take that, then you take Moses Moody going for 34 in that first game in San Francisco. Then you go and look at James Wiseman and what he looked like, and he played and he was healthy and he got up and down and he challenged shots and he finished at the rim. And you just look, and then you look at a guy like McClung who looks like he had a nice little thing going on the 2-man game with Wiseman. Maybe McClung, who was he was a kind of a YouTube sensation for his dunking ability in high school. He's a freaky athlete, and he was the MVP or Rookie of the Year in the G League.
Yeah,
and the Warriors kind of stole him from the Lakers. I like McClung as a guy who can be on the roster. So now you got McClung, you got the kid that they just drafted who's got the foot fracture, Ryan Rollins, 6'10" guy. Now you're adding JaMychal Green. You added Baldwin, who's got a lot of basketball IQ. What's that?
Rollins isn't 6'10", is he?
He's got 6'10" reach.
Oh, reach. Okay.
Yeah. So
What's
he's about 6'5", 6'6".
I know they allow 13 to suit up and 15 on the roster. Don't they allow 15 plus two-way players?
They go 15, but you only have to use 14 spots, and I think Golden State plans on using 14. And the significance today of JaMychal Green is that maybe Iguodala is not coming back.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So maybe Iguodala's riding off into the sunset. So they're pretty set. And if I'm Golden State, I'd run it back with what they got. I would love to see him add Carmelo Anthony. Seem like the only person who's excited by that. Everybody else is like, screw that. But I kind of like Carmelo as like the finishing big on this team. And I just think of like if they got into a big playoff series against anybody, Denver, you name it, whatever series, Dallas, whoever it's going to be, Boston, and you got the crowd going crazy and all kinds of pressure, and you're swinging it on the perimeter, and the shot clock's ticking down. Give me Carmelo Anthony in that spot all day, every day, because they're not going to guard him on this team. And so now you're talking about the 8th leading scorer in the history of the league who's going to be totally unaffected by the Boston Garden. And I just think a guy like that could just drain big shots after big shot after big shot. I like Carmelo added to this bunch, but I think Golden State looks good on paper. I don't really think they need Durant. I mean, I would roll with what they got right now. I mean, the thing about Durant is if Durant had an awesome attitude and there were no negatives except for the fact that he's already had an Achilles and he's going to be 34, then that would be one thing. But he's got some diva tendencies, and you got this beautiful young roster with all these up and coming guys. And the chemistry is kick ass. Why you would even think to interrupt that to bring in KD and his diva tendencies and his battling with 12-year-olds on Twitter and his media battles and all of his awkward press conferences. Screw that. Go with what you got. I'd go with what you got.
And wait for a buy. I mean, there's going to be buyout guys available probably also. All right, let's just run through this really quickly just to get it down. Then we can move on to more fun stuff. All right, who's finishing with the highest batting average, guys? Dan?
I'm up.
Yep.
Highest batting average on the Giants. Okay, let me think here.
I mean, Slater, your boy Slater's hitting 307 or no 303. 303. Luis Gonzalez 282.
Now, are we talking to end the season?
Yeah, let's just end the season because the math.
Not second half. Oh, yeah, it's too hard to figure out. Okay, I'm going to go.
Who's second with your boy?
Who's second and third right now? It's Gonzalez second.
Yeah, and then Gonzalez at 282. Estrada's at 259.
Don't forget Vosler.
Don't forget Jock Peterson 252. I mean, also you think about guys they could bring up. I mean, hell, I mean, do you think if Mercedes doesn't have very many ABs, he could bring that up?
Is there a minimum of at bats that we should require? I mean, it can't be like 8 at bats.
Yeah, it can't be like 8. I mean, it's just honor system.
I'll go with Slater. He'll probably end up about 275, but
yeah.
I'll go with Gonzo. I think he's slumping. I think he's going to take off again.
All right, I'll ride the Estrada train. I'm not afraid. Okay. This one though, however, is going to be home runs. This math we can do. Who's going to hit the most home runs in the second half? So first half be forgotten. Who's hitting the most home runs in the second half?
Most home runs, Joey Bart.
Larry, that confidence made me want to go back and change my Estrada pick.
Who's up next?
Just pick.
I can't see. Oh, okay. You got me first everywhere. Okay.
You're a season ticket holder. What are you looking at? You don't have these names memorized?
No, I was looking at the order of our picks. I thought we were doing, different picks order. So I'll go with Belt again.
Oh, that was a good pick. All right. Well, I mean, force my hand. I guess I'll take Jock.
Yaz could go off.
Yaz could go off. Yeah. Who knows? Late night could go off. All right, Willie Mack. Who's going to win Willie Mack this year?
Willie Mack award this year.
Last night was late night. Last year. What are the qualifications for a Willie Mack award winner?
It's supposed to be the most inspirational guy. I would probably say it's going to be Slater.
I'm going to go
with Gonzalez. Slater or Gonzalez.
Rodon did fire him up.
That's a good.
He might get traded.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
Juan Soto.
I'm gonna go with Jock because I think everybody loves Jock, and it's a pop. You're
not going Papirski?
Well, it was. I couldn't decide. It was tough. It was Papirski.
I'm going Padlo, and here's why. Because that one. No.
Stewie. It could be
Stewie.
I love calling the guy Stewie. Why don't you guys come down to Arizona, look me up, and just kick my ass? Don't call me Stewie, okay? I got teased being called Stewie in 3rd and 4th grade as I was a little guy. Now I'm in the major leagues. Don't call me Stewie.
How about a vote for Tom Kai? Kai Tom.
Kai Tom.
Oh man, I'm trying to think who. I like
that. Do you like the Tom Kai?
Tom Kai. How about what's that stuff that you eat for your stomach? Kamichi. What's that? For your
what? Cervici. It's like a seafood.
Or something. What's that stuff called?
It's called cerviche. Cerviche.
Someone help me in the chat.
Rolaids.
Something for your stomach. It's like
what? Something for your stomach.
Like it's supposed to be
Tums. It's called Tums.
No, it's like
sauerkraut. Rolaids.
Sauerkraut.
Kamichi. What the heck?
Oh, kombucha.
Kombucha. Yeah. There you go.
Beachy.
Kombucha. That's what Kai Tom Kai kombucha. Yeah.
I had Danny. He was like, "Who's Tom Kai?"
That is like the golfer Tom Kite.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm going Joey Bart. Willie Mack, Joey Bart.
Joey Bart. Wow. You would take a big second half.
All right. Now it's fun time. Last thing, dream trade. Let's be realistic, though.
Dream trade?
At the deadline.
If you want to be realistic, I'm going with Chester.
Reacquiring Padlo.
Chester Tomoko.
I'm going to say Bob Fairchild, who's Stu Fairchild's brother, and he's an A-ball right now.
Yeah, spelled him up.
And they're going to share up an apartment, and that's why it's going to work out. No, I'm just joking.
Who is Chester Tomoko?
Just one of the guys we've never heard of. I mean, it's just like.
All right, I'm getting mine.
Okay, I'm going to say Kai Tom for Mike Trout. Kai Tom for Mike Trout. That's my final offer.
Tom Kai for kombucha.
Tom Kai was involved in another trade. I would say Krazan to the Diamondbacks.
Krazan. Shazam!
Seriously, these nothing trades are like way more apt. That would be hilarious. Is like taking sample trades of like guys Farhan could actually trade for. The Diamondbacks have a AA pitcher who's 1-8 with a 7-point.
Yeah, we got to check the Mariners' high A ball team.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I've got mine. I'm going with Alex Young.
Graves and sharing an apartment, splitting that Hormel completes ass treat that Danny had.
I'm going with Alex Young and Aaron Fletcher, along with Kyle Tyler and Angel Rendon, not Carlos. Angel Rendon. These 4 recent signings. I believe Farhan is ahead of everybody.
I got one. Here, I'll give you one.
And Farhan
Patrick Bailey, Elliot Ramos, and Sean Jelly to the A's for Ramon Laureano and Sean Murphy.
Not Frankie.
Now Frankie's got arm problems.
Is he back or I haven't heard anything.
Well, he's back, but I still, I
think Farhan in the name.
Why are you whispering?
Jay Hutch says Farhan is ahead of everybody.
He's a genius. He's an absolute genius.
That's what he's doing.
He's got it figured out.
And he's picked up.
My wife is in the next room.
Yeah. He's picked up.
She's not a genius.
Yeah.
But Farhan is.
Yes, Farhan is. He's picked up Fletcher and Young and all these other pitchers, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows Washington is looking to restock their pitching, and I believe he's going to pull off the Soto deal with these recent.
I'm in Murfreesboro. There's not another Giants fan for like 1,700 miles around.
I've heard that as part of the A's deal, the A's are relocating to Murfreesboro.
Would that be great?
What if we did a podcast? We did nothing but whisper,
Nothing
but whisper, and we never explained it to anybody else. So we just. Danny's losing his shit. We do interviews. We do interviews, but we always whisper.
Hey, Steve Young.
Steve, what do you think, Trey?
Do you think Trey has a chance?
What would you say his biggest flaw is that you see?
Hey, Steve, thanks for joining us today and for coming on the show. We've got you a lifetime supply of Hormel.
Steve, you'll love this cheese. Steve, you're gonna love this chicken ass treat. Oh man. Steve, relax.
Steve, Farhan is a genius. Do you agree?
And then, why are you guys whispering? We're not whispering. Why are you talking so loud?
My program director's in the other room. Steve,
We're broadcasting from Murfreesboro,
Mercedes, BMW, Porsche. Danny, put those ass treats away. They don't have to be frozen or refrigerated. That's the scary part.
The most effed up part about it all is the fact that you led with, I'm keeping this as like food reserve in case the apocalypse happens, but then you said that it wasn't. You refrigerated.
I know.
J-Stamps 101. Steve talks at a normal volume. You just keep saying, please stop yelling.
Down, Steve.
Please stop yelling. Please stop yelling. Please stop yelling.
Hey, listen to these.
Oh my God, that is too funny.
Listen to these ingredients.
Wait, did you see that one? Mark Graves, whisper voice. The password is.
Wait, we actually, for like part of the Pasquale tournament, if when we're emceeing it, we should just break out a whisper for just no reason.
Oh my God. People are going to think we're just like on serious drugs tonight.
Yeah. They're not wrong.
Oh my God. Well, hey, here we go. The Krueg Show. You need to repackage those food choices into Monster Slam meals.
Packaging.
Tony D. Find the fine print, not for human consumption. has a picture of Faith. Picture of Faith and Buster.
Oh man, this stuff is it is pretty bad.
Man.
But,
all right. Well, let's do this. Let's
wait. Dan,
after
nothing but nonstop Dan at the end of every show. We've been 30 minutes of Dan trade
for fucking Trout. How many times?
The dream scenario.
Okay, here's the goddamn scenario. I'm going to Arizona and I'm kicking ass.
Are we talking realistic or dream?
Realistic dream.
Realistic.
I think they're gonna get somebody like a Brandon Drury.
You've been talking him up for weeks.
I think he's.
You got Drury on the brain.
I think he's the kind of guy that Farhan looks for.
He's valuable.
You know,
I can see that guy Farmer too, because Farmer is Farmer's a good player. He can play short.
Yeah,
just in case Krueg goes down or
you want to back him short. And you know how many catchers we got on the roster now.
Graves. I should have taken a gummy before this show. Terrific. Now the listeners are like, I need to be drugged to check. Do you like that show? When I'm high?
Yeah. I didn't really get it. I think you need to be on drugs for that.
S4G says Nick Senzel. I'm a big Nick Senzel fan. You can get him for cheap.
Center fielder for the Reds.
Here's a guy that I really like. I really like this guy, and I think he could be dominant. But he's just always on like the wrong team, and he runs a little hot. I mean, I'll admit that. What do you think of the Giants adding Amir Garrett to their pen? He's a lefty who throws smoke. Yeah, he challenges. He's with Kansas City now. He challenges entire teams to brawls. But you know what? I like that. Yeah. I like a guy who's going to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see what MLB.
He's not having a very good year.
Better yet, you can get him.
Better yet. Realistic
good stuff.
Oh, wait a minute! Breaking news.
You lost Alvarez
45 minutes ago. Oh, this was earlier today. Giants Kyle Tyler agreed to a minor league deal. Giants recently signed right-hander Kyle Tyler to a minor league contract.
Who?
Another pitcher. I don't know what it is. Farhan's been signing he signed 5 pitchers in the last 2 weeks.
Is that a draft pick? Maybe that they're signing their draft picks.
No, it's a guy that passed through waivers and another waiver claim. Did
you, by the way, guys, look at the Giants' 20 rounds of picks? This is how it went. Pitcher / first baseman, pitcher, catcher, outfielder, pitcher, catcher, outfielder, second baseman. The first infielder they took was in the 16th round. Shortstop, first baseman, pitcher, first baseman. They took a ton of pitching. And the first two guys, I mean, the first guy, Reggie Crawford, throws 100. He's a lefty, but he just sounds like he's either going to be like the best player in baseball or just no chance of making it. It seems high risk, high reward.
I don't like them taking that with the first pick. Like, I saw that the like draft boards and stuff, like they all had him in like the 80s, 90s.
I'm not so down on it. You know why? Huge upside.
Those 99, but he only pitched 6 or 7 innings in his entire college career.
Pick. They just, I mean, look at all their first round busts they've had. I mean, and they were drafting.
But what about I've been told many times that the value in these drafts is in high school hitters, and they take collegiate pitchers. So how do you figure? If high school hitters are usually where it's at, why are the Giants taking so many college pitchers?
I don't know, but I'll tell you who I like. What they're doing is the Diamondbacks. They are picking up young studs. They got
Corbin Carroll is in their farm system right now, but who's the guy they took?
They took Jones,
Andrew Jones' son.
Yeah, and then
Carl
they've got
Crawford's kid. Did they get him too? He went to Philly, I think.
No, but if you look at the, I had it pulled up here earlier. The top 20 prospects by Keith Law of each team. It's pretty interesting.
I used to study this stuff, but I'll tell you, it's you know what it's like? It's like studying. It's like being really up to speed on college, recruiting.
Yeah.
It's a gigantic exercise in futility.
Yeah.
5-star guys bust all the time. 3-star guys make it all the time. Walk-ons reach the NFL. 4 and 5-star recruits crap out left and right. It's at the end of the day, guess what? It's not worth. You're evaluating the players too soon. There's no real tie to you know what I'm saying? It's not the same. I guess people say, well, wow, you're super into the NFL draft. Why are you not into recruiting? I'm not into recruiting because there's no, as I just said, 5-star guys crap out, walk-ons make it to the league. It's just too random. I don't really believe in the wisdom of any of these recruiting services. So I don't put a lot of credence in a 3-star versus a 4-star versus a 5-star. I understand the concept, and I generally understand that it's better to have 5 stars than 3 stars. But it's so far away from being accurate that it's like not worth it. And the same thing with the baseball draft. It's like, you can study it, and I like to watch the draft and see their different players, and you'll see some special players for sure. But so many times the highest rated guys just evaporate. They disappear. You never hear from them again. It's such a hard sport. It's almost like, I almost feel like baseball prospects. It's like, wake me when you get to AA and have success. If you get to AA and you have success, I'm interested in talking about it. Anybody who's like either a draft pick success or rookie league or A-ball success, I'm not interested. I really don't care. It means absolutely nothing.
Honestly, what do you guys think about the drafting of the players' sons? Because I think it's a pretty good strategy. You see it in the NBA. Like, a lot of these guys who had fathers that played in the league, it's just there's an understanding of the process. And I think the process is what gets in the way for a lot of people.
As long as you have skill. But, Pete Rose Jr. wasn't anything. There's so many. There's so many sons of big leaguers that don't do anything. So it's hard to say. But I generally like it because I think at least you know the game, and it's important to you. Being a good player is probably important to you. More important if your dad played. That would be my guess.
So let's do this real quick. Let's take the top 5 father-son combos, or maybe even 7 or maybe 5 to 10.
I would say number 1 on the list is, and now this might be controversial. Some people would say it's Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonds. I'd probably say Griffey Jr. and Griffey Sr.
Yeah,
that's probably it.
What about the Bells? You got David Bell, Gus Bell, Buddy Bell. Buddy Bell Buddy Bell and then Gus Bell. That's 3 generations. How about the Boones? Bob Boone was an all-star catcher. Aaron Boone.
I know. I was going to say early Boone. Guerreros. To have 2
Vladdy Jr.
Yeah.
How about the Alous? Felipe was great. Manny was great.
Those were brothers, though, right?
Yeah, but that Felipe's kid is Moises.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And Moises was an awesome player.
Former group player grandkids is where it's at.
How about Javier, Stan Javier, and Julian Javier?
Yeah. You could put Yaz in there with the with Grandpa, right?
Who are some other?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Yaz. I mean, Carl and Mike Yastrzemski. There's all kinds of guys, really. I mean, there's all. How about Dizzy Dean and who's the Dizzy Dean's brother? Paul Dean.
Yeah.
Don't say Jimmy Dean.
Jimmy Dean, not as good as Squally sausage. That's
what about if we're going cross sports,
sausage.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner.
Oh yeah, Romo mentioned Tatis, Fernando Sr. and Jr.
Yeah. Well, how about if we're going 3 generations? We may have one coming up with the Mannings.
With Arch going to Texas.
Yeah, what about that deal? Yeah, Arch Manning. Whose son is he?
Peyton.
He's Cooper's.
Oh, yeah, Cooper's.
Oh, it's Cooper's son?
I think so.
I don't think it's Peyton's.
Oh, it's not Peyton's.
Yeah, Cooper's son.
Cooper's the one that didn't play in the NFL.
Yeah, but everyone always said he was the best athlete of the 3.
Yeah, let's see.
All right, let's do this. Let's play our spots. We'll be back with our final thoughts on the Krueg Show.
Larry Krueger here for Telmetrics. Thanks to Casey Bateman and the good people at Telmetrics. If you're an occupational therapist, if you're an orthopedic surgeon, a chiropractor, a physical therapist of any kind, Telmetrics is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. Telmetrics uses computer vision and artificial intelligence and provides a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in the clinical and the telehealth environments. So using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injury needs, or if you're a physical rehabilitation specialist of any kind, make sure you use telmetrics.co, TELMETRIX.co. And thanks to Casey Bateman and all the good people at Telmetrics for being a proud sponsor of the Krueg. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dan Coach Emilio. Dan is a buddy, and he is a phenomenal retirement planning specialist. And you can contact him today at securemoney.com or at his number 925-628-9966. There's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now, and you want to make sure that your money is secure. That is the key. Danny's got 25 years of experience, born and raised right here in the Bay Area, and he can help you get an immediate 10% premium bonus on your principal retirement account. So give him a call, 925-628-9966. He'll make an appointment with you, and you can sit down. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a deal. He'll consult with you and come up with a strategy to get you going to where you want to be. Once again, 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. And thanks to Tony Casera and the good people at Casera's Italian Menswear. They are housing the Krueg Show t-shirts, and they're a proud sponsor of the show as well. The Krueg Show t-shirt, the Krueg Show podcast t-shirt is available there at their store in Dublin. Their address is 7372 San Ramon Road in Dublin, California. And go see Tony Casera and get yourself a Krueg Show t-shirt and support the show. And special thanks to our sponsor, New York Style Italian Sausage. That's right, NewYorkStyleSausage.com is their website. Phenomenal product, whether it's the breakfast sausage, the Italian mild, the Italian spicy, the chorizo. You cannot go wrong with New York Style Italian Sausage. Once again, NewYorkStyleSausage.com. Often imitated, never equaled.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday dinner without sausage, it's like a church without God. You know, how can you go to church if you don't believe in God? You know, and along with the sausage also became the discussions. That was discussion night. You know, it wasn't a typical family that you sit there and you're quiet, you know, and you don't talk with a mouthful. Oh no, man. Italians talk when they're eating. Italians even talk when they're sleeping. And definitely we talk with our hands. So if we can't express it through our mouth, through our lips, We express it with our hands. So, and that's what sausage is, really. It's an expression, you know, that life is good.
All right, welcome back to the Krueg Show. Larry Krueger, Dan Coach Emilio, Ryan Smith. I love the Dodgers says the sausage. Best part, Romo 2001. Pasquale's father was a big-time ball player. Big Papa Pasquale. There you go. So I love that. Tony D, I love when Pasquale side peeks the camera during the ad. There you go, people studying the ads. I love the Dodgers. Robert De Niro, his cousin. Oh, my God. That is so funny. How about this one? Jay Stamps, I don't go to church, but I believe in Sunday dinner. There you go. So
how about this,
lot of good
Rodney Dunham? A little bit of a complicated message. I think he's saying, hey, as for GMBA and all. So I think everyone in the chat, screw the Dodgers. Okay, this show is heading ... fill in the blank. I think we're just going so. I mean, I doubt that he had $1 dinner showing up in the bottom screen for as the fill in the blank. But he said, I'm reluctant, but may just go straight to opening my bag of 5 milligram, but may go straight to the 25 milligram. So I think he's talking edibles. I think he's like, how crazy is this? Where's the show going? And should I be popping some
Rodney, as they would say, thanks for listening. Mercedes BMW Porsche says, imagine Pasquale inviting Dan Coco over for Sunday dinner, and Dan shows up with that Hormel Completes ass as an appetizer for the family. That would ruin it.
Cyrus would have definitely participated in the stoner whispering session. Yeah, Dan, you are what you eat. Now Dan is just a complete. Oh no, he's back.
Completes.
You know what? Mercedes, BMW, Porsche. You should throw a little Land Rover in there.
What if Danny was sponsored by Completes?
This is my new mic. This
That's
is
your
it.
New mic.
This is my new mic. I'm not
we
going
don't have to worry about it going bad because it's already bad.
No, it's got preservatives.
To be refrigerated.
This thing's good for years. Hey, I looked up while we were during the break with the commercials there, the WAR, they had the top father-son do by WAR.
Yeah.
MLB ranked them.
The fielders?
And, they were like 11th. The Bobby Bonds 57.9 and Barry was 162.7 were number one. And then the Griffeys, Ken was senior 34.5 and junior was 83.8. Bonds 162. That's unbelievable.
Incredible.
He just killed everybody. But we pretty much nailed them all. We got the Griffeys. The number 3 was the Alous, Felipe and Moses. The Guerreros, 4th. Ray and Bob Boone, 5th.
Yeah, what about Steph Curry and his son LeBron James?
Stottlemyers, we forgot them. They were 6th.
Mel Stottlemyre, Todd Stottlemyre.
Yeah, and then 7th was Jose Cruz and Jose Cruz Jr.
Jose Cruz for the Astros was damn good. Do you remember Jose Cruz?
Yep.
With the leg kick, left-hand hitter.
Yep. Now, was that the Jose Cruz, the son that Junior? Is he the one that played for the Giants that dropped that ball?
He won the Gold Glove in right field and then dropped a fly ball against the Marlins in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. And then they were 7th. 8th was Gus and Buddy Bell.
Yep.
Another. That was the. And then 9th was the Alomars. We forgot Sandy.
Oh, I was going to say Sandy Alomar, Roberto Alomar, Sandy Alomar Senior, Sandy Alomar Jr., and Roberto Alomar. Roberto Alomar might be one of the most underrated players ever.
Yeah.
How about the Bichettes?
Bichettes? How about Biggio? Doesn't Biggio's kid play right now?
Yeah. They're not in this top 11 that they show on MLB.
How about Roger Clemens and his kid, Cody Clemens, is coming up?
His son doesn't have a positive WAR yet.
Yeah, he's probably pretty good, though, I think.
Yeah, and then the fielders were 11th. Oh, Dizzy Trout and Steve Trout. Remember Steve Trout, the pitcher? I don't remember his dad, Dizzy.
No, don't remember Dizzy Trout, but I do remember Steve Trout.
Yeah, Steve Trout was with the, I believe, the White Sox, wasn't he?
Yeah, Steve Trout, good pitcher.
Didn't he ever play with the Cubs
too? I think Cubs and White Sox.
Yeah,
maybe White Sox first.
So,
Molina's, right?
Oh, Benji and
Benji, Yachty,
they're brothers,
Jose,
right? Yeah, they're
Jose.
brothers. Yeah.
How about Dom and Joe DiMaggio?
Yeah.
Brothers.
Hey, Ryan, did you know the Giants had 3 brothers play in one outfield in one game?
Really?
Yeah.
Matty Alou, Felipe Alou, and Jesus Alou.
Yeah.
Wow. I
3
didn't know
brothers.
that. Did they do that for a gimmick?
No, they were good, but they didn't.
Jesus.
Play.
Oh, Giambi
Jesus was not great, but
Matty and Felipe.
Matty was an incredible average hitter, and Felipe was definitely a good player too.
Yeah,
he was the best of them.
Yeah.
So
McCaffrey.
What's that? Bruce and Bruce and Brett Bochy. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as other ones too, Tom Lasorda is related to Piazza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Piazza was like a 70-something
last round
choice.
Supposedly they took him as a favor to Lasorda.
Guy becomes a Hall of Famer.
Guy becomes a Hall of Famer. Amazing. All right, guys. Final thought on the night. National League loses to the American League. All-Star game overall was kind of a microcosm of baseball. Very little action, really poor marketing, and it results in a totally forgettable and non-impactful sporting event. That pretty much was it in a nutshell.
This is what I got to say about the All-Star game. I think I would have had a better enjoyment if I had downed this thing.
That was probably tonight's giveaway. Yeah. Can you imagine? That would be awesome if they gave that away. Hey, completes.
Yeah, everybody gets one. I mean, that was such
we make 50,000 people get the runs like 2 days later.
Rodon after his complete game gets a sponsorship.
It was just
I like the game, but that giveaway gave me the trots.
I wonder what the national media is going to be like tomorrow discussing the All-Star game. If they're going to have the same feelings. If they're going to discuss it like we did, though, with the uniforms and just, I mean, because to me,
it's just baseball on so many fronts.
Yeah, it's just like, how do you blow something like
Baseball's
that?
Lost their way.
Yeah,
it really has. I love it. It's a great game.
Yep.
Grew up with it. Love it. Manfred, no. Doesn't get it, doesn't understand it,
fraud.
Doesn't understand baseball fans, doesn't understand the game itself.
Well,
isn't a good commissioner in my mind. Doesn't have a vision for the future of the game. Nope. The uniform thing is just the beginning. They need to do more to identify their players, not less. Home run derby was an absolute nightmare. I mean, you have all kinds of rules being broken. You've got, stupid format, and I mean, it's just ridiculous. Baseball, it's losing its place in the public consciousness.
Well, here's
that's the bigger issue.
How far
it's all tied together.
When I was a kid, and probably the same with you, Larry, in the 70s, baseball was the number one was the number one sport.
It was still the number one sport. I mean, it wasn't the number one sport, but even when I was growing up, like that was still the sport people most cared about.
Yeah, it was baseball, and then it was football, and then NBA was kind of.
What year did baseball give way to football as the number one sport? That's a good question, because baseball was the number one sport. And eventually it gave way to football. I would say it was probably the late 70s. That would be my guess. Right around 80 is when I think the NFL started being bigger than MLB.
70s, and then another great question is when did basketball pass it as the number 2?
Probably.
You could still argue that more people care about the baseball playoffs than basketball. No, basketball playoffs don't do well at all.
I think basketball
playoffs don't draw well.
Yeah, because a lot of people watch it on like Twitter and.
I like basketball, but I would say baseball's playoffs have momentum. It's just baseball's.
But in the national consciousness. Like in terms of like what's Cowherd going to be talking about? Like, when do you think that basketball passed? Probably not the night. Maybe honestly, maybe late.
It had to be the Jordan era. Had to be during Jordan's era.
And that's when the home runs.
Late 90s, maybe late 90s.
And that was when baseball had the strike in 94.
Yeah, I would say mid 90s. That's good. Like mid 94 to 97, somewhere in there.
I'll tell you when football, though, really, really exploded with the younger people was when Madden's game came out.
That's what, 90s? Early 90s?
Yeah, my son was born in 88, and he really didn't care a lot about football. I mean, he started playing Pop Warner, but when we started playing Madden together, man, that's where he really learned the whole game.
I mean, my first year playing Madden was like 94, but I think it was 3 or 4 years old at that point.
Yeah, I was. We started playing it really a lot in like 97. He was about 9, and he loved it, and I enjoyed playing it. But that was when it was wasn't even that great of as the way it is today as far as the realistic part of it. So, but Madden and not just Madden, the game, but John Madden, the broadcaster, just really brought a lot of fans in. I think he was
no
probably,
doubt. I mean, John Madden had more to do with the growth of the NFL than almost any individual. If you really think about it, between Madden and not only that, look at to this day, the Fox football analyst broadcasters on all their teams sound like Madden copies.
Right.
Because he just made that style so prevalent. All right, guys, good stuff tonight. Are we going to play one thing before we play our close? Do we have anything we can play? What do you guys want to play?
Yeah, let's play
our fans in the stands.
Yeah.
It's baseball. What are we on next Thursday?
Oh, also, Giants are going to win this series 2 out of 3. What do you guys think about that? Giants are going to win 2 out of 3 from Dodgers.
All right, let's get fired up.
It's a 4-game series. 4-game series.
This guy was fired up like instantly. Look at that guy.
Let's go, Giants!
All right, we're out here in the blue shirts with the Larry Krueger
Go,
show.
Larry Krueger!
Yeah, we're going to be on YouTube right now tonight. All right. Okay. When I say Larry, you say Krueger.
This guy back there.
Larry!
Krueger!
Larry!
Krueger!
Larry!
Krueger!
All right.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle.